294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on for your Monday afternoon.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
Here we go, Monday, April 28th edition. I'm on with Sedano. Sedano texted us yesterday in the group chat and said it was going to be a massive show today. Wall-to-wall Lakers. We're going to work in some Kings, too.
Epic. I said epic.
Wall-to-wall. A reaction Monday. Thanks to our friends at Michelob Ultra. We're all over it. What happened, Lakers fans? And I know Cappy was heartbroken last night when the Oilers scored with only seconds remaining in the game. Those stinking scumbag Edmonton Oilers. Plus, of course, we were at the draft, the NFL draft, at Rams headquarters on Thursday and Friday. We might work that into. What an afternoon it is. What an afternoon it feels like to be a P1 of Sedano and Cappy on the radio. Plus, producer Lindsay and producer Ann Young D, producer DeAndre. Let's do it. The LA Afternoon Drive Takeover.
Hey, Jerusalem.
Did you forget who you were?
He likes to lay the wood. Yeah.
You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger? Asminger.
Hey, these hard knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
I mean, look at me. I'm a hot piece of ass. I mean, look at him.
Iamaliava. Because I thought it was like, I'm a leaving.
Sedano and Cap, your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh.
Beep-ba-da-bop.
Yeah.
Doom-da-da-bop. Boom-ba-da-bop. Doom-da-da-bop. All right, Cappy.
I feel like you're coming in super hot today.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
If you would have told me going into Sunday,
all right,
that the Lakers would be down 3-1, heading back to Crypto.com Arena for Game 5, I would have said, nah, there's no way I see that. There's no way that they don't split the series in Minnesota, okay? I get Minnesota's good. I get Minnesota's not afraid. But at some point, this team is going to put their best lineup out there for enough stretches and play Rudy Gobert off the floor, and it's going to go in their favor. That is yet to happen in this series. Even when they're playing their best lineup, Minnesota has been steadfast in keeping Gobert on the floor, which allows them, again, to cover more ground defensively. And here's the thing.
I'm waiting.
I'm sorry, Lindsay.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait a second. Are you about to say something like really, really prophetic about LeBron?
The best player on the floor through 4 games is undoubtedly Anthony Edwards.
Wait, we're not. That's not.
Why
a
do you have
debate.
to apologize?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not a debate.
It's not like a hot take. That's pretty obvious.
I'm just saying.
That's a
I
cold
know
take.
LeBron is 40.
I know you've been waiting for the switch.
That's a cold take.
No, I did say, did I not, that if he doesn't flip the switch in the first round, because if he has to flip the switch,
he may start wanting to flip it in the first round.
No, because if he needs it, it's hopeless. If he needs to flip the switch in the first round, that means it's hopeless.
Okay, well then it's over then. If that's
hey guys,
let's call it a day. We're out of here. It's hopeless.
Guys,
see you later,
guys. I want you to know, I could, if I wanted to, I could flip the switch, but I'm not going to because it's only the first round. And since you losers have put me in this position where I'm now down 3-1, I ain't flipping no switches.
Exactly.
Come on.
I ain't flipping no switches.
No.
Just go out and do your job.
Snitches.
It's funny you say that, though, George, about
thank you. Appreciate it.
About how, Anthony Edwards is the best player on the floor.
Oh, my God. It's not even close.
No, not only is it not close, but wait, there's a bigger problem here. Not only is Anthony Edwards the best player on the floor, we talked about this for the last week and a half, how Wendy gave us the whole handicapping idea.
Right.
If your team has 3 of the best 5 players on the floor,
3 out of 5, yeah.
You're more likely going to win the series.
Yeah.
So I put myself in this group. I assumed that 3 of the best 5 were LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Well, guess what?
No way. Austin Reeves may not be. Hold on. So I would say Anthony Edwards is number 1.
Yep.
Okay. Then, whatever, LeBron or Luka. Let's just make them 2 or 3.
Okay.
Then after that, there's a bunch of T-Wolves.
Right.
Okay.
There's Julius
Randle.
Right.
It's Jaden McDaniels.
Right.
It's Naz Reid.
Right. Rudy Gobert.
Maybe even Gobert in there.
Yeah. Right.
So there may be like 4 T-Wolves.
DiVincenzo, maybe.
DiVincenzo's playing, balling out.
So-
DiVincenzo, he's like telling Austin, what, you're the guy? No, hell no, I'm the guy.
Well, wait a second. So think about it like this. So if you took Wendy's idea and he has to have 3 of the best 5, think about this. Chances are Minnesota has 7 of the top 10.
Correct.
7 of 10 belongs to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I think, I'll be honest, I really think a lot of us, I'm putting myself in this group, may have underestimated Minnesota. When you think about...
I did.
Listen, when you think about the end of the season, I think the Lakers finished the year with like 51 wins in the regular season, and I want to say Minnesota ended at like 49 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just a couple of games separating a 3 seed from a 6 seed. We knew that 3 through 8 was very bunched up.
Yes.
Houston had a better record and Oklahoma City had a better record, but none of us really believed in Houston. But 3 through 8, everybody was really, really, really close. We may have underestimated how good Minnesota is. And by the way, they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. I don't know why I put myself in the group. We underestimated them.
Well, I thought, remember, going into the series, I told you from day one, I said, the series will be swung by how much Rudy Gobert plays in this series. And by the way, I would have thought at least one game he would have been played off the floor. That has not happened at all in this series.
No, but you know what has happened? Is that the Lakers, who during the regular season, when the Lakers gave up Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes became the official starting center.
Yes.
And everybody talked about the way Luka likes to use him and all these lob passes and the number of times that Jackson Hayes was scoring and they were all dunks. You talk about being played off the floor. Jackson Hayes played a grand total of 4 minutes.
Listen, we saw that in game 1. I'm like, oh, this is over. Like, he is not even giving them any minutes. Like
4 minutes yesterday.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, it's
that's crazy, man.
He's unplayable. Like,
I know.
There's
4
a
minutes.
reason he was available. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think, George, to the untrained eye, I'll put myself in that category. When you see the number of points he's scoring, when you see the way he's dunking, when you see the excitement he brings to the floor, you start to get drunken into believing that he's actually much better than he really is. And now you get to the postseason and you go, well, he can't even play. So what's his value? And in terms of like a basketball asset, what's his value? Right now it's 0.
That is awful.
And I'll tell you, it really pains me to say what I'm about to tell you.
Right.
Which is my favorite player, Austin Reeves. I mean, invisible. And yeah, no scoring in the first half, and he started to knock down some shots in the third quarter. And the last shot of the game, I remember you and I having this conversation about a year ago. Remember the game where LeBron passed the ball to D'Angelo Russell, and D'Angelo missed a corner 3. And the only reason I bring this up is because I remember I was having this conversation. LeBron said, I always make the right play. And we argued about that forever. And you said, when you're an NBA player and you have a wide open corner 3, you got to knock that down.
Yes.
And the same goes for Austin Reeves yesterday.
Short corner 3, you got to hit it.
He had
the main thing.
He had it.
He
was wide open.
He had a look. He had a good look, even though the spacing was terrible on that last play. Literally, Luka, LeBron, and Austin were within several feet of each other.
Right.
And somehow LeBron was able to swing it fast enough to get Austin a good look. But, yeah, I'll say this.
Say it. Say it.
You mentioned the Doncic lobs. Do you know how many assists Luka Doncic has in 4 games in this series?
How many assists I'll take a guess. You ready?
I do.
Total.
Okay, I'll take a stab since I don't, but Lindsay does, so I'll just take a guess. I'll say 20.
Yeah, it is 20.
Well, no, get out of here.
You read the sheet.
No, I swear to you. I read. No, but I swear to God, I was just doing it in my mind. I'm like, okay, they played 4 games. He's probably getting like 5 per game.
Yeah. Do you know how many he had in 5 games against Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals last year?
5 games against Minnesota last year. I mean, I'm estimating he had 5 per game here. I'll say he had 10 to 12. So through 4 games, I'll say 50.
No, it was 41. But anyway, it's 8 assists a game. But to your point, you know what he had last year? Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, easy lob threats. You know what they don't have here? An easy lob threat. Let me ask you a question, and we can talk about this on the other side. I want you to marinate on this.
All right, I will.
Do you believe the Mark Williams trade that fell through was a mistake by the Lakers? Let's get into that on the other side. Stick around, 710 ESPN. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Books. Guys, Mother's Day is coming. It's almost here. I've been thinking about all the times Mom went out of her way just to make me happy. How many times she literally dragged me out of bed because I didn't want to go to school. Made me like chicken soup, Una sopita de pollo, when I was sick. It's all good stuff that Mom does. Mom does everything to make you happy, man. So I'm returning the favor. This year I'm sending happy flowers for a happy Mother's Day from the Books Company. Short for bouquets. That's BOUQS.com. And I got a 25% off discount off your order so you can send some happy flowers too. Books, they're just not any flowers, man. They're flowers cut fresh from the best farms, so they're bigger, brighter, last way longer. Some even grow on the side of a freaking volcano. So order them right now, Books.com, BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN gets you 25% off. Simple as that. Wow Mom with a bright, happy bouquet, or go for the Books Flowers subscription so she gets fresh blooms and major joy on repeat. It's easy, guys. I already picked my day and picked my bouquet, my delivery day. I'm good. I'm done for Mother's Day. You need to get on it soon. You don't want to be in the doghouse. And get something for Mom, for Abuela, for your wifey, for your cousin, for your sister, all those people that did good stuff for you, all those ladies in your life. Look, guys, don't forget Mom. Mother's Day is May 11th. Order your Books now. Go to Books.com. Use the promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN. Books, promo code ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, quote, inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
And it is Sedano and Kap your Monday afternoon. Today is Blueberry Pie Day. Well, you know, Cappy, we love pie no matter what kind of pie it is. And on this day, back in 1979, the #1 hit, Blondie, Heart of Glass. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh, a little Blondie, Cappy.
Love Blondie. I'm trying to think of what the lead singer's name. Debbie
Harry, isn't it?
Debbie Harry. Very good, Lindsay.
I was going to say
Baseball.
Debbie Antonelli, but she's a Hall of Fame basketball player.
I was going to say Debbie Gibson, but she's not a Hall of
Electric
Fame.
Youth?
Yeah. Yeah, Debbie Harry.
Oh,
Loved her.
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy's on SportsCenter right now.
He's out in Miami.
He's in Miami, it looks like, yeah.
They really love him there, huh?
I don't know. I think they didn't. I don't know.
I know. I feel like he has like a very love-hate relationship with
I feel like
Miami.
most people in this industry have a love-hate relationship with the audience. Like,
Yeah,
just
sure,
kinda-
right.
I don't
Right.
think he's necessarily like, it's specific to Wendy.
No, anytime you're in the opinion business, you got half the people who hate you and half the people that love you. That's just the way
he's
it goes.
talking about Giannis. What is he saying about Giannis? Go ahead, let's see what he's put. Pot it up real quick.
To do going forward. And to be clear, it's going to be his call. He may say, I want to stick this out in Milwaukee, even if Dame misses a big part of next season. But if he wants to move on, nobody in the league is going to do anything that's a serious suitor until they find out how that might play out.
In terms of overall outlook, Brooke Lopez, Torian
Right.
Prince, Gary Trent Jr. are all unrestricted free agents after this season. But honestly, as you just said, hasn't really been tantamount to playoff success to this point anyway. Brian Windhorst with the latest.
He said on the Hoop Collective that he said that the only way that Giannis is going to stay is if he's going to be okay with the fact that they're not going to be able to be good enough to compete because they're not only going to not be able to add, but they're going to lose a lot of guys.
Oh yeah, I know. They're over. Like, yeah, they need help. They're over the second apron. Yeah, they need to hit a reset button.
Apron talk.
They need to hit the reset, and that's why Wendy said what he, what he said is true. If he wants out, and look, he's been flirting with it forever. But if I'm Giannis, real quick, just a quick side note before I get to the Mark Williams question I asked you, Cappy. I think that the suitors for him. I mean, John mentioned Miami, which has always been a rumor for him. San Antonio.
That'd be crazy.
If you're Giannis, why wouldn't you want to play with Wemby? Why wouldn't you want to play with Wemby?
Yeah, dang.
Right. And Stephon Castle's the young guy you get back, Rookie of the Year. Like, it makes way too much sense for me. And they got picks. So, like, for me, like, Giannis in San Antonio makes all the sense in the world.
F them picks.
What about Houston?
I don't think he. I actually think Durant fits better.
I was going to say him or KD.
They need somebody
a
who
shooter.
can shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Other than that, they're really good.
They need somebody who can shoot. Reed Shepard, the kid they drafted this year, can shoot. I think he'll eventually replace Fred VanVleet. Although Fred played pretty well on Saturday. But he's getting older. I think KD to the Rockets. I think San Antonio and Giannis is a real possibility. I also think Chicago is kind of an outsider, has an outside shot at Giannis.
But you know what? You hear that report, and you hear Wendy mention Giannis's name, and then you hear him mention Brooke Lopez's name, and you think about the amount of size that a team like Milwaukee, who's about to be run out of these playoffs, you think about the amount of size that a team like that has, and then you bring it home, and you think about the Lakers, and you realize that Jackson Hayes played 4 minutes in this game and cannot do anything to help this team right now. And then you think about what the Lakers have left. Well, they got Alex Len, which was, he's contributed about 3 minutes the entire season.
If you steal my sunshine.
And then they also got Markieff Morris in the trade.
Literally 4 people in the audience got that.
I just said I got that.
I did not get it.
If you steal my sunshine.
It's the song. The band's called Len.
Okay, I didn't know that, but that's why none of us got it.
Anywho.
Anyway, the thing is that you got 2 big guys there. That's what they're talking about.
DeAndre knows nothing about Len. He may know a little bit about Alex Len, but
no, he knows
about
Alex Len. That's
Alex
it.
Len,
Yeah.
not Len.
And for me, I only know Len Dawson. I had no idea who you were talking about with Len. But the point is that here's what's come up, and this is where I know you wanted to go, so I'm leading you right into it. The Lakers legitimately go into these playoffs with most of us believing that they can make some kind of a run. And what are we thinking? Because they don't have any anybody who's got a big body. Nobody. I mean, you can have somebody who's 6'11" or 7 feet tall, but if they're 150 pounds, that doesn't do you any good. And even behind Jackson Hayes, they do not have a big body. So, George, that's a good setup for where you were going before the break.
So the Mark Williams trade, they decided to get out of that trade for medical reasons. And I was like, okay. I mean, at the time, our initial reaction was like, oh, man, it must be bad. I mean, he's been in and out of the lineup. He's had all sorts of injury issues, et cetera, et cetera. But they didn't want to elaborate on that. So we're like, okay. Then I decided, I know he played some, obviously, after the trade deadline.
How much?
So they played 30 games from the that he played, because there was the whole transaction thing. He couldn't play for a little bit. So basically, he played from the All-Star game on, okay?
They played 30 games after the trade.
He played 21 of them.
21 of 30.
Yeah.
So for a guy
And by the way, in those 21 games, he played about 30 minutes a night. 20, high 20s to about 30 minutes a night.
So for a guy that couldn't pass the Lakers physical, he went back and played 2/3 of their games and played on average, according to your numbers, about 30 minutes per game.
Right. Played nearly, somewhere between 25 and 30 most nights. And is the actual vertical spacer lob threat that he was being billed as, that's what his game is.
Okay, so listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you today.
I'm not saying he's the difference, but at least he helps.
Right, exactly. I'm not going to tell you he's the answer man, but what I am going to tell you is that if the Lakers had a body like his and he could contribute 15 minutes, let alone 30 minutes, if he could just contribute 15 minutes, how different might the Lakers be if they had a competent big man?
I would tell you that Luka wouldn't only have 20 assists through 4 games.
Yeah.
He'd have closer. I don't know if he'd had 41 like he did against them last year. Excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Hey, that's okay. Go ahead, sneeze. God bless you,
I
my
did.
friend. Gesundheit, if you will.
But he'd have more than 20, that's for damn sure.
It's just, the thing is this. Mark Williams, we can sit here and we can lament the fact that he didn't pass their physical. I never believed it for a second. I mean, I believed the entire time that they just decided when he got here, they're like, you know what? We don't really like this move. Let's get out of this thing. How are we going to get out of it? Well, let's say he can't pass the physical.
Right, because people were like, whoa, they gave up one of their first rounders.
Yeah.
And then, the excuse-making machine was in the works. Like, it was like, let's make the excuses work. Well, they're really just trading those 2 picks for Luka, and Mark Williams just like part of the grander, larger Luka trade. That's the excuse machine.
And here's the worst part of it, and that's, by the way, that's a good sound effect for the excuse machine. The bigger part of the problem is that now, even if you kept this team together, and I say this team meaning like LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves, hypothetically, if you kept this group together, but you said, hey, we got to go out and add a big man, well, you're starting over again. Like, you could have had a big man. And again, Mark Williams to me is not the answer to everything.
No.
But
he would have at least potentially been someone you could have put in the mix.
You have not one big guy on the floor
that's playable.
Not one. And listen, I was really starting to enjoy watching Jackson Hayes during the regular season.
Right, but what did I kept telling you?
Yeah, he said playoff basketball is going to be different, and he just cannot contribute, And it's really a shame that nobody with any size and weight to them is capable of making a contribution. Not one guy.
Yeah. By the way, I know Laker fans don't want to hear this, but watching Anthony Edwards take on the assignment of LeBron in the way he did and with the level of physicality. Because, look, guarding LeBron is hard, even at 40. He's a big dude. Okay?
And heavy and strong.
Correct. He outweighs Anthony Edwards by a good 30-plus pounds, okay? And Anthony Edwards was doing everything. And by the way, not only on that, then still scoring 43 points or whatever the hell.
And by the way, also, never coming out in the second half.
Right.
23
he didn't
years
come
old.
out in the second half, right? Julius Randle, I think, missed like 1 minute, maybe?
But 23 years old, and that's what you get. And it really occurred to me last night watching those two go at it as Anthony Edwards was pushing LeBron. I mean, literally 2 hands like an offensive lineman trying to block a defensive lineman.
That's exactly the way to describe it.
And I thought to myself, number one, Anthony Edwards has zero fear of LeBron James. Zero.
Well, he has zero fear of anyone.
Okay, but LeBron he's a different kind of a person, meaning LeBron James been playing in the NBA since before Anthony Edwards was born. Maybe a slight exaggeration, but you get my point.
It's close.
It's pretty close. And for Anthony Edwards, who was a teammate of LeBron's on the USA Olympic team, to go out to his teammates and go, I got him, back out, I will put hands all over him, and I will get in his head besides into his grill, it was amazing. And it kind of reminded me, George, remember the documentary we all watched about the Redeem team? Remember that one?
Yeah.
And remember the story of Kobe going out and saying to his teammates, hey, Pau Gasol's my boy, okay? He's my teammate. But watch what happens when this game starts. I'm going to spear him. I'm taking him down, right? And Kobe let everybody know, I'll set the tempo right now. I don't care if he's my friend. I don't care if he's my teammate. This is our team. We're going for gold. We're leaving nothing on the floor. So for Anthony Edwards to say to his teammates, I got LeBron. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's heavier. He's 40. He's the guy I had a poster on my wall. I got him. And man, LeBron's looking around for the referees to save him rather than leaning all over him or just kind of like laying on him. He's looking for help from the refs. Anthony Edwards,
not happening this time of year. Ask the Detroit Pistons how that worked out.
But not only did Anthony Edwards do what he did to LeBron physically, I'm telling you, when LeBron's looking around for refs' help, he's in his head too.
Cappy, coming up next, I want to get into the Austin Reeves situation and how JJ handled that game and this series, but particularly that game to this point. Let's get into all that, but first tell us about your friends at Ocean Subaru.
I would love to do that. So first of all, I mentioned my friend Omar, who's the general manager of Ocean Subaru, 22 years in the U.S. Army. And whenever I talk to Omar, I thank him for his service. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, that's just sort of a cliche thing to say to somebody who spent a long time in the military. Maybe, but here's what he did. He was in Desert Storm. He was in Desert Shield. My man served in Somalia. He spent time in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan. When you've had that kind of military career, I'm going to thank you every time I see you. And Omar, shout out to you, man. Thanks for your service. And Omar wants me to remind everybody, if you are active duty military, if you are a veteran of the military, he wants to take extra good care of you. But if you're like me and you're a civilian, he wants to help you out too. So I can tell you right now, I'm a huge fan of the Subaru products, the safety, the technology, the versatility, the reliability, and the all-wheel drive. I was driving from L.A. to San Luis Obispo on Saturday, and dude, the rain was coming down. There were so many single-car accidents because they were hydroplaning. That's why a Subaru is so great. All-wheel drive and the maximum safety, the safest cars on the road. So I want you to make sure that if you're thinking about a new Subaru product, you come on down and visit us at Ocean Subaru, OceanSubaruOC.com. That's OceanSubaruOC.com. Or we're at 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, right off the 91 freeway. You can't possibly miss us. Big, beautiful, bright store, and at night, it's all lit up. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where right now the A Lot to Love event is happening. So really great deals going on. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where every journey starts with love.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
I always wanted to be on the field crew for baseball.
Yeah,
I never got to do it. I want to do that.
So here's when the kids were in like Little League, doing field prep is the sweet spot.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Because it's
dragging the field.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
It's quiet. You're outside.
That's
it's
cool.
Sunny. I love it.
Turning on the sprinkler.
Spraying the dirt with the hose,
love it.
Dragging the field,
I meant when you got to bring out, when it rains and you got to bring out the tarp.
Oh, no,
I always wanted to do that.
That looks like hard work. I'd like to avoid
fun.
hard work.
And I would mess it up and I'd get run over by the tarp.
It happens occasionally where somebody stumbles and they just, by the way, that would be terrifying. Being stuck underneath that thing, right? That's not like a piece of like saran wrap. That is a heavy-duty piece of like vinyl or whatever it is.
I may have to bring out the Rambo
scary.
blade.
I would lose my damn mind if I got run over by that cylinder.
I'm getting claustrophobic.
That would be crazy.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey guys, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we are all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails to going all out to support our teams. One thing really all ties it together, and that's enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
And it is Sedano and Kap, your Monday afternoon. Happy 44th birthday to the one and only hometown girl. She's a home girl. The great Jessica Alba. How about John Daly? He's 58. Let's play a John Daly record, shall we? This was used in the 30 for 30. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now. Hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back.
John Daly, huh?
I had no idea. I had no idea that he sang a song.
I think of John Daly as like underachieving, likable guy. You don't have a lot of those.
No, he was. It looked like early on like he was going to be something really special, and then just constantly like smoking on the course and like drinking sodas all day long and getting heavy.
He's like the anti-hero of golf.
Yeah, and then what he would do is he'd show up at Hooters in every city that he was at.
He was like the Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, he would sell merch out of his like traveling. Whatever that RV was that he would travel around with around the country.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll be at Hooters selling merch if you need me. And it was like, didn't you win like millions and millions of dollars on tour? He's like, yeah, I don't care. That's who I am. I'm from Arkansas.
Cappy, it's a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. We're reacting to a tough weekend on the road for the Lakers and the Kings yesterday. Now, it's so funny. I want to get to that in a second, but react with us all day through tonight. Lakers Talk 6 to 8 on 710 and here on YouTube as well. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing balanced flavor with 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. I was asleep. I fell asleep early last night.
Yeah.
But so I saw what happened because I was watching the game, but I was kind of like laying in bed. And then the Oilers tied the game with 29 seconds to go. I assume when you typed "oh no" into our
I had to look
group
it up.
chat,
I was like, what's going
that's
on?
what you were referring to, not the end result, which ended up being Edmonton tying the series anyway. But I assumed it was that.
I think I may have texted. I don't remember if it was "oh no" when Edmonton tied it to take it to overtime,
or when they lost,
or if it was when they lost in the overtime period. It was just it was amazing because the Kings seemed to be in such control of that game early when they had a 3-1 lead.
Right.
And then by the time it had gotten to overtime where Edmonton had tied
they
at 3-3.
had been in complete control of the second and third periods and beyond, it felt like.
But yes, right. And in particular in the overtime, I know you fell asleep, dude. I was struggling so hard to stay awake to watch the end of it. And I actually made a commitment. I'm like, hey, listen, you know what? I'll stay up through the first overtime, but if it goes to double overtime, I'm out. Lights out for me. But the way Edmonton totally, utterly dominated the overtime period. The Kings had great goaltending, which, you got to have that in the postseason, but it's just too much to ask when they're firing shots at you all day long and you're not responding the other direction. You know?
This was not the matchup you wanted if you were the Kings. You keep running into these guys and they're so good. It's terrible.
Here's one thing that the Kings should work on. You know how like certain times.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, an NBA team should always make sure that their free throw percentage is high.
Yeah. Sometimes
when you see guys miss free throws, you're like, come on, man. Get in the gym and just work on your free throws. You know what the Kings need to work on? empty net goals. They need to be able to shoot the puck at the empty net because they've had so many opportunities in this series with empty net shots, and they've not been able to put one in that would have ended the game.
Yeah.
So, tough night last night for the Kings.
Yeah.
Tough night for the Lakers, and tough night for LA sports fans.
Tough series so far for Austin Reeves, I would say. He has not been great in this series. I would say he's only really had one very good game. He was okay yesterday, I thought.
In the second half, he was okay.
Yeah, he was rough. He's had some rough starts to games in this series. This is the second time he's had a brutal start to the game. Overall, in the series, he is minus 28 when he's on the floor.
That's a long group of sounds. He is.
I was doing the math.
Oh, my God. Minus 28.
Yeah, I was doing the math.
You know what it is, though, George? Like, his whole shot looks off. Something just doesn't look right with him, especially the way games are starting. And the reason I say that is because he had this record-setting type year.
Yeah, he was great in the regular season.
With 3-point shots.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I don't have the answer why his shot just looks off. And
well, there's less space.
Okay, I'll take that as one reason. But just the second half yesterday, thank goodness he started to heat up. But you know where Austin Reeves really kind of irritated me yesterday?
Yeah.
It wasn't just the low shooting percentage.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it turned into nearly a 50% night from 3-point range. But it's a 2-point game, right? Lakers are up by 2. What does Austin Reeves do? He fouls, I believe it was Jaden McDaniels, who's going up for a dunk, brings it home, and then goes to the line, and that's what puts Minnesota up by 1. Do you know the sequence that I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember going, what are you doing? Like, why would you foul him there?
Because his rotation was late. He was supposed to rotate down when.
Correct.
So I don't know who was down there that had to step up and help. But Austin Reeves was late in the rotation, which led him to fouling, and obviously Jaden McDaniels got an easy layup.
I know, but I would just think that a player of his magnitude, even if he's late, would be like, okay, hey, I can't foul him. I mean, it's like the worst possible thing I could do is foul him, because if he hits the shot, he's going to the free throw line for a 3-point opportunity. And if he doesn't make the shot, I'm still putting him on the line. Now he's got a chance to tie the game. For a guy who I think of as being a very smart player, that was a very dumb play. I mean, can I get some feedback on that? Is there anything?
You're right. You're right.
Just want to make sure. Why? That really was upsetting, man. I mean, I've loved Austin Reeves this year. I've loved his story of being undrafted and becoming a star player and expecting him to be the third best player on the Lakers. And it's really just been about LeBron and Luka.
That's because he has not had the ability to create his own shot, because guys like McDaniel, guys like DiVincenzo, even guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker have been doing a great job of putting a lot of ball pressure on these guys. And the way the Lakers are running their offense is a lot of one-on-one. Here, Luka, you go one-on-one against Gobert. Here, LeBron, you go one-on-one against Gobert. Here, Austin Reeves, you try to go one-on-one against him. And there's no real fluid offense. And Austin Reeves does a great job against the free throw line. He didn't even shoot any free throws in yesterday's game, which where he gets his bread and butter, which he gets his shot going as far as him knocking down free throws. So the fact that he was able to get to the free throw line was very disappointing.
He's only gotten to the free throw line 7 times the whole series.
That's amazing. That is an amazing stat.
And to your point, okay, what I was going to get into, it was the JJ part of it, and we could talk about it a little more on the other side. I know Perk's supposed to join us at some point or another. I know he's busy, and we got stuff to try to track him down. But I would say and DeAndre already started to allude to it, I think the offense has looked very bogged down. Now, you got to credit Minnesota. But I think there was, even those out-of-bounds plays, I don't think we're – and I heard JJ talk about this in the postgame. He felt the execution of the out-of-bounds play was part of the problem. And he put the onus on the players, and that's fine. But I do think the spacing has not been as good. And again, understanding that Minnesota is long and athletic and can close out, and the intensity level is ratcheted up. I understand that. But it feels like the Lakers are chasing in this series in every which way imaginable. It started with game 1. Weren't ready for the physicality. They had to chase that. It feels like they're not as fluid on offense, and they're not adjusting to Minnesota's athleticism and speed and intensity there.
Youth.
And fresher legs, yes.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. They should not have been chasing yesterday, George. When you have a 12-point lead or you have a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, there is no reason why they should have been chasing. They needed to close that game.
They had 10-point lead with 7 minutes or so to go.
Right, but they had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they still had a 10-point lead at around the 7 or 8 minute mark.
And what I'm getting at, though, is that I don't think, and you and I have not gotten into this yet, there is a lot of criticism for J.J. Redick and the fact that he did not do any substitution.
We can do some of that on the other side, and hopefully we'll catch up with Perk here in the next 30 minutes or so. So we'll do that. Stick around, 710 ESPN.
Lakers fans, don't miss any of the action during the playoffs. Take the purple and gold with you wherever you go by downloading the Lakers app presented by BBGO. With the Lakers app, get access to exclusive sweepstakes, wallpapers, live game updates, in-game highlights, and more. The Lakers app is available in the App Store for free. Stay locked in during playoffs and listen to every playoff game on the Lakers app. The Lakers app has you covered, Lake Show. Download the Lakers app now to your iPhone or Android. Let's go Lakers.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, the home guy, teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
Looking for a great deal on a new ride? Lease a 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SC for just $319 a month for 36 months, with $39.99 due at signing. Don't miss out. Drive with confidence with America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. And Hyundai's Assurance Program. Visit us off the 91 freeway or online at CardinAlleyWayHyundai.com to schedule your test drive.
Lease offer on approved HMF credit. $39.99 due at signing. Plus tax, license, $85 dock fee, and registration. No security deposit. 10,000 miles per year. Offer expires 4/30/2025.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Lindsay.
Thanks, Sedano. All right, guys, so we all saw the NFL draft over the weekend, and our buddy, Shedeur Sanders, who slid down to the 5th round and went to my Cleveland Browns. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. However, what you need to know is that he's already the top 3rd selling jersey from the 2025 NFL draft. So only Travis Hunter and Cameron Ward have sold more jerseys than him. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think so too. Look, I think ultimately, if you had to set an over-under, Cappy, on how many games Shedeur plays this season, what would that number be?
Over-under, I'd say 4. What would you say?
I would go over 4.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, what's going to happen, right? I mean, you got Joe Flacco. He's a 40-year-old guy, and
But he knows the offense, and he knows, the team and the system.
He does, but...
I think he has a better chance of playing...
Isn't Flacco more of a mentor now, when you think about it in this time in his career?
No. I mean, he should be, but on the other hand, D, they brought him in thinking they would need a starting quarterback because Deshaun Watson's not going to be there. Then they went out and got Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick. I was never very high on him. Yeah. He's not really that good.
I think they'll end up cutting Pickett.
So, well, they're going to have to cut somebody.
They have to trade him, I would imagine.
But here's the thing about Shedeur. He's a 5th-round pick now. So, 5th-round picks get cut all the time. There's no financial investment in a guy who's only a 5th-round pick.
Pickett has the best odds to open as the starter.
Interesting.
Well, good luck with that.
But
That's crazy.
I can't figure out, is Shedeur Sanders ultimately going to become your starting quarterback, because you got a starting quarterback talent, a first-round talent, theoretically, but you got him for free in the 5th round. So are they going to try and really hustle him up and developing, hey, look, we got him. We might as well go use him. We thought about taking him earlier. We could have taken him with the 1st pick of the 2nd round. We could have taken him with the 4th pick of the 2nd round. Are we going to really try and hustle Shedeur Sanders in?
You know what the over-under is for Cleveland, period, for wins next year?
I think it's 3.
4.5.
Oh,
okay.
Hey, that's higher than I thought.
Yeah.
All I know is that they were not planning on taking him. They definitely picked him on a flyer like, oh, well, we got to do something.
No, I buy the story that the owner wanted him.
Yeah, 100%.
That owner, by
I
the
mean,
way.
people were losing their minds when they drafted Dylan Gabriel. Losing their minds.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel is...
Because he's terrible.
He's not terrible. He's a great college quarterback.
Right, exactly.
He's not an NFL quarterback.
That's what everyone says. He's not going to translate to the NFL.
What's the owner's name? I can't remember. Jimmy Haslam. Let me tell you something about that guy.
Here we go, Cappy.
Let me tell you something about
Tell us.
Okay, here goes. You know, we all look at Jerry Jones and we think he meddles too much.
Yeah.
You know? But Jerry at least meddles while having the title of general manager. You know? He's the owner, but he is the GM.
Right.
This guy from Cleveland.
This
freaking guy over here.
Yeah.
This guy, when he signed Deshaun Watson, remember, there was no bidding war really going on out there. People were like, do we? Should we? He's a great talent, but he could be a lot of trouble. Haslam went in and not only signed him, but went against every other owner in the NFL.
A fully guaranteed contract.
So there are a couple of little guaranteed contracts for a year or two, but not a fully guaranteed $250 million contract. And at the time, there was a big debate going on, which was, this will become the wave of the future. To which I was like, oh, no, it will not, because these owners are not going to follow his lead. They're going to put him back in line. So Jimmy Haslam's one of these guys that has gone against the grain, and each time he's done it, it's become an epic fail.
Right.
So if I'm Shedeur Sanders,
hashtag epic fail.
Hey, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I'd be very happy that somebody finally drafted me, but I'm not exactly sure I'm in such a great situation.
Apparently, Jimmy Haslam has a relationship with Dion, and you know, I don't know. I just think it's a clown show, because it's like, can't we just have a regular offseason for once?
Nope, you can't. You
Regular,
have your best
quiet.
defensive player wanting out, and then they pay him, and then he wants back in. And then now you've got a crowded quarterback room with a 40-year-old guy, a former first-rounder who hasn't really done very well, and now you've got a third-round pick who's probably looking at it going, wait, I thought I was like the developmental guy, and now you just drafted over me, behind me, for a guy that's probably more likely to play than I am.
Well, real quick, last thing on this. I asked you guys in the group text earlier, and I really want to know your opinion. Who has a more ridiculous quarterback room, the Browns or the Giants? Because the Giants...
the Browns have one more, so...
That's true, but I feel like Deshaun Watson's, you know, he's kind of dormant in the situation. But they've got Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, Tommy DeVito,
and
Jackson Dart.
No, I think the Shedeur thing puts it way over the top.
I agree. The
feel
Shedeur
like
thing does.
Jameis and Russell, like, I feel like that'd be a good, like, behind the scenes, you know, podcast or something. Those two need to have.
One of those two guys, in my opinion, is not likely going to be there.
Yeah. All right, Cappy. You know what I'm very disappointed in?
Tell me.
Beyond the result of the effort level of some of the Lakers games is the COT.
Oh, really? Wait a second. Time out. I need to marinate on this. You're upset with the circle of trust?
I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed.
That's worse, though. I mean,
worse.
Upset is one thing, but disappointed
is the ultimate.
Right.
That's
you
like,
guys, you guys have really let me down.
They used to be the trendsetters at this radio station.
All right.
They were the original online group.
Okay.
And now, you know what? I'm starting to side with Chris.
About?
It's just the same old stuff 90% of the time. 10% of it is like good and fun and interesting, but 90% of it is just the same old tired recycled stuff.
Like what? Like, give me an example of what the 90%
need to go any
is.
further than that.
I'm curious. I don't know about the 90%.
It's just, I would just say that it used to be a haven of creativity.
Okay. All right.
And I would say that outside of a few guys here and there, like Grant in L.A., Crypto Ray and Ward, I think Beto and Whittier, a few guys here and there, I feel like the rest of it is just the same thing. I don't even mind Dead Meows bitching and moaning all the time. Like, he complains all the time.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I would say that he complains all the time, but at least I'd take that. But it's just like it's not even interesting anymore.
Well, maybe it's
I may
your
just
fault.
shut it all down.
George,
Maybe
did you
it's your
just
fault.
dump yourself?
I may just shut it all down.
I honestly think it's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
I'll give you an example.
Well, I will blame Elon because I don't tweet as much in it anymore because it goes to your general timeline.
I agree with you. I feel like Twitter, ever since they've made all these changes to it between the verifications and the algorithm, and then like you said, how everybody can see your circle, what they're
The
called
whole
circles
point was
still,
to
right?
have something separate.
Right. That like only those people in there
So
can...
maybe I'll go to Discord or something like that.
Well, again, I do blame this
Sky.
on you. I'll blame it on you for this reason. At the beginning, you came up with this great idea. Hey, Twitter's got this new thing. It's called communities. Let's start our own community. And it caught on like wildfire, okay? But you, and I remember vividly when you said, hey, there are a bunch of idiots in the circle of trust. And then you said, they're my idiots, but they're idiots.
Yeah.
George, you really were, and I'm going to steal a phrase here, you were the creative muse. Have you heard that phrase before?
I have, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure you're
That's
on the
what
same
Bill
page.
Belichick says about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay.
Is that what you're talking about, Cap?
You got
Except
it, girl.
Cappy and I are willing to talk about how our relationship started.
Right.
Can we talk about that?
Well,
Later.
Listen, you were the creative muse. You were to the circle of trust what Bill Belichick's girlfriend is to Bill Belichick. And now all of a sudden, you've stopped with the creativity. You're no longer musing. I blame you.
Listen.
What?
I am here. I created the avenue for there to be creativity. I don't need to be the one being creative all the time. The whole point was to create and foster an environment of creativity.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll blame a second person in all of this. There is Christopher Arthur Morales.
Well, he beat them down too.
He really he did what he does to everybody.
Yeah.
And he
browbeat them.
He beat them down.
Yeah.
And then he had Crypto Ray essentially leave for a long time. It's good to see Crypto Ray back. But who never really came back after that? It was Casper Villa.
I saw him in there the other day, like a week or so ago, who was also very creative.
Not very often. Not
but
the
he
way
has
he
popped
used to
back
be.
in recently. I even said to him it was nice to see him in there.
I know, but I'm telling you, I think that he was so hurt by what Chris did to Crypto
Little
Ray
Chrissy.
and Casper that day, where he just insulted them for giving John Ireland a COT pin, that it drove Crypto Ray away, and then Crypto Ray came back. And Casper has not been the contributor to the circle of trust that he once was, and he himself was a creative muse.
Yeah.
So Casper,
Well,
Casper,
anyway,
bring it
I
back,
just
man.
think that you guys have lost your fastball. That's what I'll say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You lost your fastball.
The bleep, what are you doing?
You hear that, Big E? Lost your fastball, Big E. You hear that, VP of the Handsome Man community? Lost your fastball. That's what the creative muse is saying.
Well, at least the vice president of the Handsome Man community, like he'll post a video, there's a few guys here and there, but for the most part, yeah, they've lost their fastball.
Wow.
So
And yet you won't tell me what the 90 versus 10 is all about.
I'll just tell we don't have to. I don't want to spend any
Just
more
read
time
it.
on it.
Just go in the circle and check it out.
Yeah.
I did
You'll
not
catch on,
notice.
Cappy. You're not
So,
that slow.
Lindsay, what are the numbers
Actually,
for
quite
teams?
fast.
And now you obviously know this well because one of your teams came back down 3-1 on the biggest stage, as a matter of fact, with LeBron James at a much younger age. But what are the statistics? Because I don't believe they're good. There's nearly 300 series that have gone to 3-1. And how many teams have actually come back to complete the task?
Well, I think we should play some basketball music and do a little not insider outsider, but this is one of those fun facts.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the sixth time a LeBron James-led team has trailed 3-1 in a playoff series. They've won only once, of course, in the 2016 NBA Finals.
What were the other series? Do we know?
Cleveland! This is for you!
I don't have that info in front of me, but I'll get it for you.
Okay.
I'll
figure it out.
So the series comeback from 3-1 has only happened 13 times previously. And the Lakers actually did do it once in franchise history in a Western Division semifinal series against the Sun more than half a century ago. But the most recent NBA team to achieve the feat of coming back from 3-1 was the Denver Nuggets in 2020. And you know what? They did it twice. So they came back in the series with the Clippers to get from the Western Conference semifinals, and also came back from down 3-1 against the Utah Jazz earlier in the first round that year. So 5% of teams have won a series after going down 3-1, but, the odds get better as you go up because 16.3% of teams have won a series after going down 3-2, and then you got half of them have won a series tied 3-3. So you just take it one game at a time.
Yeah, so LeBron is one of those 13 against the Warriors. And I saw Stephen A. today call it when that happened that the NBA gave him a quote-unquote stimulus package by allowing Draymond Green to be suspended.
Well, they may give him a stimulus package this time around, too.
Game 5.
Because have you seen any of these reports that the league has admitted that the call that was not made against Luka?
Yeah, it was in the 3-minute report, right? Or
in
the
the
2-minute
report.
Right.
Yeah.
So that
it was a tripping call. Right?
The league has come out.
Well,
and
but
said,
I mean,
hey,
but it's like incidental tripping. It's not like he went out there and like Karate Kid sweep the leg. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
But Cobra Kai.
But didn't JJ talk about this in the postgame that he could have had free throws at that point?
Correct.
Check me on that. So right. So they might have scored 2 more points. That could have been the difference in the game. So here's my point. That if the NBA is admitting publicly that there was a mistake
the NBA also admitted
made,
right after the Pistons game that they screwed that up. They didn't even get to the 2-minute report.
All right, well, I'm going to focus on the Laker game and just say this.
No, I will say this. If we're going to focus with me, Cappy. If we're going to talk about egregious, and I know JJ called it egregious, I don't think it was that egregious. In real time, I could see how you missed that, okay? Because it was bang bang quick play and their feet got tangled up. Okay.
But it looked like it was almost, at first, it looked like it was Luka's fault for stepping on his foot.
Correct. It was not like, oh my God, that's the easiest call in the world.
Right. It was a tough call.
What happened to the Detroit Pistons?
Yeah.
When Josh Hart jumped into Tim Hardaway's shooting arm, okay? Bumped him on his shooting shoulder. Tim Hardaway Jr., one of the best three-point shooters in the game, airballed a three-pointer after he got bumped midair on a corner 3. Like, that, I mean, it was so bad that they didn't even let it get to the 2-minute report, that right after the game, the official went to the pool reporter and said, yeah, we messed that one up. That should have been a foul.
Yeah, but I'm just going to focus here for a second. I'm going to focus. I'm going to focus on the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
That tomorrow, you talk about Wednesday.
So you think the Lakers are going to parade to the free throw line?
Oh, not only do I think that, but I think I'm looking at the Lakers on Wednesday night are 7.5-point favorites. I got to think that the NBA, A, needs to make up for what they screwed up.
They don't do makeup calls.
And B, they need to extend this series. Nobody wants this series to come to an end. Lakers minus 7.5 Wednesday night.
That's a big number.
It's a lot. But the Lakers are going to win the game on Wednesday night.
I think they'll definitely win on Wednesday, but I don't know. I think that's probably their last home game.
Well, because they're also giving LeBron 2 days off, so that you know what I mean, like that helps. Let me see.
What are you looking for?
But as the series progress, if they do advance, like they're not going to have as much time in between games. So.
Yeah. No, I know.
What are you looking for? What information do you need?
Just looking at stuff.
You tell me. I'll tell you.
It's a little early.
You let me know what you need.
Okay. Right now, the number's pretty split as far as where the money's going on that game.
Okay.
So.
Well, I don't like 7.5, but I like the Lakers to win.
Yeah, I just think this. I think that, I know Ireland and Mason and Ireland and Bergman have been like, oh, we're going to be the 5%. I mean, listen, you know me, Cappy. I'm not a
absolutist.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. However, it ain't looking good, bro.
No, but I'm an always believe guy. I'm a never give up guy.
Yeah.
I'm a if you've got an opportunity, then you still have a chance guy. And the Lakers still got it.
Yeah, you're a heart and soul guy.
A heart and soul guy.
I am a heart and soul guy, but in this case,
but I think
heart
said
and soul,
Austin Reeves a heart and soul guy.
Right, heart and soul's over here, DeAndre. I'm putting heart and soul off to the side.
Okay.
But I gotta be an I believe guy.
Okay.
So that's who I am. I'm an I believe guy.
By the way, on the other side, it's bad when one particular person really torched the Lakers on social media yesterday.
Oh, no.
We'll get to that next.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco.
It's T-Raj and D-Far.
I'm a decent parallel parker, but inevitably I'm going to catch that curb at least once, and then that's it.
I love parallel parking. That's my thing. That's my jam.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and kiss and fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
And it is Sedano and Cap here Monday afternoon. Today is Kiss Your Mate Day. I mean, Cappy and I aren't officially mates, but we were mates on Friday at the show when we did our YouTube only hour. So we kissed, kind of. We shared food. I know, it's a fresh bit. Also, happy 59th birthday to Too Short. Sedano and Cap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
I go on and on. Can't understand how I last.
Oh, blow the whistle, Cappy. I was there. E40 was there in the house when I was there on Saturday.
Yeah.
I actually saw a TikTok this morning that was this lady who's a caretaker for an old man, and she was like, the 80-year-old man that I take to dialysis once a week insists on coming outside every day to blow the whistle by Too Short.
Okay.
And it's like this old guy. That's going to be you, Cappy.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing real quick, George, about the circle and your commentary in the previous segment.
Yeah, Dead Meow says it's a reflection of the show. I say to Dead Meow, puck you.
Oh, wow. Wow, talking hockey around here.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're a real puckhead, you know that?
To our social media team, do me one favor on YouTube. Give me a full screen for 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Go full screen for 1 second.
I can already tell this is going to need some rack music.
Nope. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying one thing.
I'm going to make Dead Meow my one-timer.
If you are watching on YouTube, you know. If you're not watching on YouTube, then you don't. But I'll just say this right now. I am making a political statement. I'm making it on YouTube. I'm not going to say it on the air, but I am I'm making a political statement on YouTube right now. That's right. Close in. Go ahead. You guys can focus in. Anybody watching on YouTube, you can see what's going on. For those of you that aren't watching,
so you can see his pores.
Right. Zoom in. Go ahead. You can see it. I'm not saying one word on the radio. You'll have to go to YouTube. That's all I'm going to say. Political statement about George Sedano and his commentary on the Circle of Trust.
Okay. Cappy, you know it's bad when Magic Johnson tweets the way he tweeted yesterday.
Tell me more.
I mean, Magic did not hold back. Usually it's very positive stuff. Occasionally he'll throw in something like that he disagrees with. But I felt like Magic was kind of like, he went in. You know what I mean? Like he went in on the Lakers yesterday.
Let me hear what he tweeted.
I don't know if it's smart to play LeBron and Luka the entire second half after only having 1 day's rest between games 3 and 4. When we needed LeBron to take over in the fourth quarter, he couldn't. He scored 0 points in the fourth.
Yeah. Well, I must say this. I agree with Magic. And I know that this is not like some out there opinion. I think a lot of people agree with Magic. I think that J.J. Redick, I understand the mentality. I really honestly do. I understand the mentality of LeBron, Luka, AR. This is your team, guys. Okay? You gotta sell out. You got to give us every last ounce of energy you've got. We got a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. I'm not taking you guys off the floor unless you're begging me to take you off the floor. And I know as a player, there's no way that LeBron James is going to look over at him and go, yo, come here. I give me a minute here, will you please?
Right.
LeBron's going to do everything he can to stay on the floor because he understands the magnitude of Game 4 and tying the series. But the fact that you can't find a minute or two for Jared Vanderbilt, the fact that you can't find two or 3 minutes for Gabe Vincent, that's exactly my point.
What are we doing here?
And listen, it would occur to me that if you have a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter and your intention is to close out with your top 5 guys, then with a 10-point lead, how about putting in Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt at the beginning of the fourth quarter? Just a minute or two.
So why didn't he, George?
I don't know. I mean, he says he asked them at the beginning of the fourth quarter, do you guys need a blow? They all said no. But, I mean, look, I get what he was going for.
Right.
He believes, and he's right, that their best lineup is Doncic, Reeves, LeBron, Rui, and Hachimura and Dorian Finney-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And it is empirical, okay? The empirical data says that it is absolutely their best lineup. It's not really close. I get it. But you can't, you're playing against a team that's bigger, stronger, more athletic. Okay?
And younger.
Correct.
And
is experienced.
But I keep bringing up the word younger. Look, I get it. Like, we could sit here and compare Austin Reeves' age to Jaden McDaniels' age. We could compare Luka's age to Naz Reid. We can do all that. I'm talking about very specifically.
Right.
You have
you had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
And you have a 40-year-old LeBron James, and you have a 23-year-old Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
That is a one-on-one matchup. And in that case, the guy who's 17 years younger, he ain't coming off the floor either. He's smaller, he's lighter, but, man, he's got huge heart and huge stones. And he was all up in LeBron's business. And LeBron's looking around for referees to make calls when Anthony Edwards has got his hands all over him. And so that younger
DeAndre wants
part...
to know why you're so stuck on that.
DeAndre wants to know why I'm so stuck on it?
I want to know why he's so stuck on the whole Anthony Edwards, pushing and shoving LeBron James up and down the court.
Well, you tell me, during the season, do we ever really see anybody put their hands on another player quite like we did yesterday?
Playoff basketball, bro.
Different intensity.
But I'm asking you guys, do you ever see that?
In the regular season, you don't see that. Of course not.
Okay.
I don't think you see that from really anyone in the regular season.
I've never seen anybody do to LeBron James yesterday what Anthony Edwards did. I've never seen another player on another team in another era do exactly what Anthony Edwards did to LeBron James.
Anthony Edwards was jawing at Kevin Durant last year.
No. Hold on. You're missing what I'm saying.
Saying LeBron.
I'm not saying jawing, D. I'm saying physically putting his hands, pushing him.
No, he did a lot of that with Durant last year, too.
I don't remember it. You guys may remember it. I personally don't.
But I mean, it's a little different because Durant is not
7 feet
like
tall and
LeBron.
skinny, right?
There was a big deal made of it. Like, oh my God, he's not afraid of anybody. And they're saying the exact same thing now.
Here's the thing. Wemby's going to end up being the best player, in basketball. Ant's going to be right there. Ant is going to be, granted, different styles, I get it. Ant is going to be a top 2 or 3 player in very short order. If he's not, he might be top 5 already right now.
About a year or so ago.
He's better than Luka right now.
Oh, absolutely he is, because he can play both ways.
Correct.
And here's the other thing. Richard Jefferson.
He is a more efficient basketball player than Luka, too.
Richard Jefferson made a really interesting point during the telecast yesterday. And he said every time Anthony Edwards is out there dancing around, he goes, he's about to shoot. So all the Lakers really needed to do, according to Richard Jefferson, I'm gonna defer to RJ here, a guy who played a long time in the NBA versus someone like myself, who my basketball resume is back-to-back-to-back championships as a coach in the Jewish Community Center League. Okay, that's my resume.
Right.
But he made a point, Richard Jefferson, that every time he's dancing around with the ball, he's setting you up to shoot. So you needed to get closer to him. You actually needed to close the gap between yourself, the defender, and Anthony Edwards, and they were giving him, whether it was 6 inches or 12 inches, whatever the space was, Richard Jefferson's like, bro, close the gap. So he...
See, when you close the gap on a guy like Anthony Edwards, you're basically daring him to attack. Yeah. Which, when he does attack, he has been killing the Lakers because he's been able to his playmaking has been a lot better.
Right, but I think Richard's point on the broadcast was more along the lines of, like, I'll take my chances there. If anything, you can because the Lakers are going to naturally try to protect the paint anyway. So it's at least going to be a little more resistance as opposed to the guy who has hit 300 threes or whatever it is this year, you know?
But the other guys have been killing the Lakers. Like, McDaniels has been really good.
Yeah.
Randall
really
has been really good.
It's a pick your poison situation.
Nas Reed, how about Nas Reed?
And it just sucks because this Lakers defense, does it miss rim protection? It does. But Luka Doncic cannot stay in front of nobody. Austin Reeves has been a liability defensively as well. And what the Timberwolves have been doing as far as getting a switch, going right at Luka Doncic, being able to kick out. And I know everyone's talking about the Lakers bench. Why can't they score like this? You need to trust them. Well, let me tell you something. Guys like DiVincenzo, he's able to create his own shot. He's able to get to the basket, get and defend. McDaniels is able to create his own shot, get to the basket, and defend. He's picking up Luka Doncic, 94 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Rack him. The Timberwolves have guys who have the ability to go and create their own shot, but they can defend on the other end of the court. Jared Vanderbilt can't create his own shot. So if you want him to play, he's going to be a liability offensively because he can't space the floor out. That's why he's got Finney Smith in the game, because he's able to drag out Gobert at least, and Gobert has to respect Finney Smith in the corner. So that's why Lakers' offense was efficient in the third quarter, outscoring the Timberwolves 36-23 in that third quarter, and that's why J.J. Redick was rolling with them in the fourth quarter, because he felt like if he's going to play Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent, they were not going to be able to keep that lead up with them.
Oh, I 100% understand the logic.
Right here.
I totally get it. You still should have found 2 minutes for Gabe Vincent or Jared Vanderbilt.
Rack him.
Just 2.
That was a good rant, D.
It was a very good rant.
Make that a promo.
It was a very good rant.
You can steal time. End of the third quarter. Take them. You know what Steve Kerr did? And I got to go to break here because I got to talk about the crazy Hernandez brothers in a second.
Love those guys.
I know you do. And everyone else will, too. Trust me.
But I love them more.
Yeah, okay, Cappy. We know you love them more. Steve Kerr, end of the third quarter, 27 seconds, I believe, was on the clock. He subs out Curry. He's giving him that extra time, right? Because I think somebody was shooting free throws, so you got like a minute there. You got whatever the time is on the clock, plus the 3.5-minute break, and he gets Steph back in the game in short order early in the fourth quarter. That's what a championship experienced level coach does.
Yeah, you manage. And honestly, he's like, hey, I'm rolling with you guys. This is what we have to do to win this game.
And that's not a look.
No, I understand where his heart was.
I understand what JJ was trying to do.
Right.
But you have to understand. I know you got to win this game, but pushing your chips all in the center of the table is not always the right move. And I understood it, but we live in a very binary world. It's you win or you lose. And when it doesn't work, this is what happens. Everyone starts to nitpick literally every second of the game.
That's right. And listen, last thing, because I know we got to hit this break. We all look at LeBron as superhuman.
He's 40.
But he's 40. And the kid he's playing up against, the kid who's got his hands all over him, the kid who is not intimidated, the kid who's pushing him around like he's an offensive lineman, trying to keep a defensive end away from his quarterback, that kid's 23. Younger, lighter, shorter, et cetera, fearless.
More athletic.
All true.
It's going to be really... I think the Lakers will win Game 5. But, man, I don't know, man.
Just say it. You don't think they're going to win the series.
The T-Wolves blew 2 games last year against Denver.
They did.
And went to Game 7 and were getting their ass kicked by 20 points and somehow came back to win that game. So I'm not saying it can't go the distance, and I'm not even saying the Lakers can't win. But, boy, would it be a remarkable feat. And it would take some real luck, I think, too. It's not just about skill. It's not just about coaching. It would take actual good fortune in that scenario.
Take a little bit of help from the refs, too.
Cappy, I know you needed new flooring. Mm-hmm. People need new flooring for their home, their rental, even the ADU. The crazy Hernandez brothers are here to take care of you. Cappy, Rachel's got to be happy now that the crazy Hernandez brothers, you and Steven, talked and got taken care of.
Oh, just wait. You think she's happy now. Wait till the crazy Hernandez brothers come in and they put down that new padding and they put down that new plush carpeting and they beat everybody's prices. Oh, then she's really going to be happy. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm going to get some. It's true. It's true. I am.
You could be the crazy Cappy.
Yeah.
Crazy Hernandez brothers hooking up crazy Cappy. You're going to be doing a Cappy Lappy then for sure, too, when you get some.
Right.
But anyway, you know what drives me nuts, Cappy, is these big box national retail stores that pretend to give you a good deal. You were talking about the deal that the crazy Hernandez brothers give you at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring. Because the big box stores, what they do is they mark up the price just to mark it down. Come on, man. We're not that stupid. All right, at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, legitimately family run, you get the authentic old school TLC and actual wholesale pricing year-round. They got Papi Hernandez, who started the business in 1970. You got the 2 locations, Commerce. You got Santa Ana. All the families there. The brothers, the sisters, the cousins, the nephews, the nieces, you name it. Even mommy sometimes is there, okay? No bogus sales, no gimmicks, just the best price from the start. That's why I say it, and I mean it. No sale beats wholesale. Hardwood, laminate, tile, vinyl, carpet, you name it, they got it. Over 5 million square feet in stock in their inventory. 2 locations, the size of 5 football fields. You can see it, touch it, and take it home with you the same day. That's huge, especially when you're trying to finish a project fast. And check this out. You refer a friend, both of you get 10% off your next flooring purchase. It's why first responders, designers, contractors, builders all shop there. They know the crazy Hernandez brothers are always going to take care of them. And if you find a better price, Hernandez will match it, no questions asked. So head down to Hernandez Flooring. Call them at 866-62-FLOOR. That's 866-62-FLOOR. No games, no gimmicks, just the best price in town year-round because no sale beats wholesale. Check them out on the web, HernandezWholesaleFlooring.net, HernandezWholesaleFlooring.net, or call them at 866-62-FLOOR. Call them at 866-62-FLOOR. Tell them Sedano, Cappy, 710, the whole crew sent you. Go tell them, hey, I want to talk to the crazy Hernandez brothers.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland on 710.
You know we can all hear that, right?
Yes.
Why do you type so hard?
Okay, I want people to hear how much work I'm doing.
That doesn't surprise anyone.
I want
who knows
everybody
you.
to know that I'm constant. Yeah, sometimes I turn my mic off. I've gotten better about turning my mic off when I'm typing like that.
That's annoying.
The mic thing is more annoying than the typing.
You also bang the table a lot, so it shakes.
Oh, what is it? Pick on me day? Is that what it is? Pick on Mason
Is
day?
it like no, DeMarco, I was going to say older person thing, but DeMarco also did that. Like,
Did you say that it's an older person
He's like,
thing?
That's the wrong thing to say to Mason.
An older
you
person
haven't been working
thing?
with him long
You
enough.
just called Mason old.
You
That will live in his head for the
older
whole
person
I'm
weekend.
36.
You just lost a friend.
Yeah, you
Laura.
came out and called me an older person.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, you feel it? Days are getting longer, sun is getting warmer. Looks like our SoCal summer is right around the corner. Here in California, we are all about choosing chill. From hitting the beach to the best hiking trails to going all out to support our teams. One thing really all ties it together, and that's enjoying it all with good friends and a cold Coors Light. Pick up Coors Light near you or get it delivered to your door today. Visit CAChooseChill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
And it is Sedano and Kap here Monday afternoon. Radio Tinder Time, we like to play a TV theme. On this day, back in 1994, The Simpsons aired its 100th episode. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, the Crazy Hernandez Brothers, Hernandez Wholesale Flooring. If you're in the market for new flooring, shop at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, where every day is a deal, no gimmicks.
Bam!
Call 866-622-FLOOR, F-L-O-O-R, or go to HernandezWholesaleFlooring.net. No sale beats wholesale. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
First play of the game. Slam dunk, J.A. Bam! Look at that.
I didn't think he was going to get there. When he took off, I was like, that's pretty far away from the rim.
He's like 7'2" or whatever.
Yeah, he's a big guy, Cappy.
Yeah, but he dunked it on the way down. It almost looked like he wasn't going to get there. That was a good play.
Well,
good steal.
You got to come out with authority, you know?
It took like 4 steps.
I know. So anyway, Radio Tinder time. So there's some unspoken rules when it comes to grocery shopping etiquette, but according to a shopper survey done by Delish, people are divided on whether or not it's okay to sample grapes. So half the group said that it's disgusting and unsanitary, plus it's technically stealing from the store. The other half said that if they're spending that much for fresh produce, there's no harm in trying a few grapes before buying a bunch. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think it's okay to sample grapes at the grocery store? Swipe left or swipe right?
Left. No. Stop eating food at the grocery store, bro. Like, it's silly. Like, just buy it. If you don't like it, too bad. That's your fault.
I'll swipe right.
Of course you would.
I will. Because here's the thing. Like a strawberry, for example, comes in a package.
Right.
So if you open the package and take the strawberry, that's a problem. If a blueberry, if you have to open the package and take it, that's a problem. But as long as the grape is fully exposed, I don't see what the problem is with pulling a couple of naked grapes off the vine and going, you know what? Oh, I like this grape. I'm going to take more. By the way, side note, it's so funny you brought this up, Lindsay. Today,
it's like an internet debate now.
My son went to the grocery store today. He said, I'm like 8 deep in the line, and the cashier said, hey, guys, sorry, the internet went out. We can't take anybody's payment. So people left, and they left all their groceries right there in the line because I guess the internet went out so they could no longer deal with the credit card machines. How bizarre is that? You don't have a backup plan, bro?
Yeah, don't they have those little like metal credit card swiper thingies where you do like the imprint of the card?
Yeah, right, the old school version.
I used to have to carry that on the beverage cart with me when I did at the golf course.
I used to have to do it when I worked at the gas station. I did the exact same thing, carbon copies.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But Cappy, I'm with you on the grape thing because I, for one, am a big fan of cotton candy grapes. But there's been, first of all, there's other flavors now. There's one that's like gumdrop. There's one that was like Skittles flavored, and you know what? I want to try one. Just one. I'll only try one, not multiple, just one. The other thing is, for people who say it's disgusting and unsanitary, what kind of moron is not washing their produce? Like, if you get grapes, you rinse them or wash them when you get home.
What do you do at the store, though?
Well, I mean, if you're eating one grape off of there, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if people are offended, like, I don't want my grapes all handled and touched. And again, when you get home, you just wash them.
It's like you were talking about last week, George. Like, what's the most unsanitary thing? Like when you order a cocktail and they put a lime on the glass.
Yeah, I always tell them no limes.
Yeah.
No
last night I was at this place and I'm like, hey, can I get a lime? The girl walks over, not on a napkin, not on a plate. She walks over and she's holding both corners of the lime. I'm like, girl, really? You couldn't just put it on a napkin and make a presentation? You're literally holding the lime with your 2 fingers?
Follow up on that. When I bartended at a more upscale place, I would poke the lime with
a toothpick,
with the toothpick or little sword thingy right in front of the customer so they know I didn't touch it.
That's a very nice thing to do.
Because it's gross.
Yeah, it is gross.
Okay, next one, kind of a similar online internet debate. So dry weddings and cash bars are now apparently all the rage among Gen Z brides and grooms who say that complaining about a booze-free wedding is not only outdated, but it's tacky. So a post on X that has over 1.5 million views says, quote, the younger generation on TikTok is vehemently defending cash bars at wedding receptions and suggesting that people who look forward to 2 drinks at a wedding are perhaps alcoholics. So people are going back and forth on this.
Well, listen, these kids don't drink.
Right, exactly.
They got weed at these weddings?
I have a friend who worked a couple decades, and he's in the spirits industry as like a high-level marketing person. And he was already looking to get out, but got laid off recently. And he's just like, they don't drink anymore.
No, these kids don't drink like they just don't drink as much. They're more into weed than they are into alcohol.
Correct.
Well, because I feel like alcohol is a lot more dangerous.
I mean, it is.
The world's a crazier place. But do you guys think that
I'm not casting judgment. I'm just saying they don't drink.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. But do you guys think that like if you go to a cash bar at a wedding, like if one of you go to a wedding of your friends, do you think it's tacky?
I look. Every wedding, I've only been to one wedding that was a cash bar, and I was just like, and it wasn't even like, if you're gonna have a cash bar, give me the whole gamut. I went to
everything.
Let me choose what I want. If I want the highest end thing, let me buy it. But I went to a wedding that had a cash bar and had like the lowest rung of booze.
Oh, that's dumb.
And I was like, it was in like a restaurant type hotel, whatever. So I just went to the hotel bar and grabbed the booze I wanted and just pay. If I'm going to pay for it anyway, I would walk out.
Might as well.
I'm going to swipe right and say this. I do think it's tacky to have a cash bar at a wedding.
Yeah.
But when I say that, I just want everybody to understand something. I understand that not everybody can afford a wedding.
Of course.
And so, if your family, listen, I'm thinking to myself, I got 3 daughters.
Ooh, you're in trouble.
I'm in huge trouble. Okay, I may have 3 cash bars. I may go to Costco and get my own alcohol and just show up and pour drinks for people.
Yeah.
But seriously, I understand that not everybody can afford a wedding where you've got to spend all this money on alcohol. So I empathize with you. However, I still think it's tacky.
That's one of the biggest costs of a wedding is the alcohol.
Here's what you do. Don't waste your money on flowers for the table.
Oh no, I disagree. I think that
dude, I see always these old ladies taking the flowers home.
Yes, right. And the beautiful flower arrangements to me, they just but that's a thing for the women,
I'd rather have booze that people don't pay for than to spend money on flowers that people take. Here's another thought for you.
I'm torn on that.
Have everybody take pictures on their phones, and then everybody upload them to a group thing instead of hiring photographers. How about that? I'm just trying to find ways to save you money so that I don't have to pay for drinks when I come to your wedding.
You've definitely already thought about all of this for all 3 of your daughters when you're trying to they want to hire a wedding planner, and you're like, no, we'll do it ourselves.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
And
I'll
then,
plan.
we got to get the photo booth with all the little props and stuff, and you're like, no, we'll make one ourselves.
Yeah, we'll just have
I'll go to Party City.
Yeah, we'll have an iPhone taking pictures for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I've already been through it, Lindsay. When you've gone through bat mitzvahs, and you've already seen the cost of bat mitzvahs, the fear of 3 weddings is a real deal.
See, it's funny because in my family, I'm one of 3 girls, and my little sister wanted a very small wedding, had it in the backyard of her in-laws' house. It was very cute, like a little country wedding. And then on the other hand, my older sister and my brother both had crazy extravagant weddings. Like for my brother's wedding, they left the reception place, in like an old Bentley that they had on the golf course that her dad is a member at and whatever. And
so 3 of the 4 siblings are married. What are we going to do for your wedding?
I'm the only one who's not married.
And what are we going to do?
I don't know. Haven't thought about it yet.
Cash bar or no cash bar?
I don't know. I feel like I would just, I don't know. I'll worry about that when I
Maybe we can get some trade to Lazy Dog or something. We can have downstairs.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, that's Radio Tinder, brought to you by our friends, the crazy Hernandez brothers, okay? It's very simple, folks. You need flooring. Cappy's already done it, all right? You're in the market for new flooring? Shop at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, where every day is a deal. No gimmicks. Call them at 866-62-FLOOR or go to hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale. All right, Cappy, coming up next, let's get into the draft a little bit. And I want to get into this crazy Belichick story. You ready to just do that for 10 minutes?
Tell me you watched the Belichick interview.
I saw the interview.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Oh, and I've got it, too.
Yeah, I saw the interview. It was interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But first, you know what? As much as Belichick was stunning, it is also stunning to me, Cappy, that when people get into an accident around here, They still don't call Jacob. What the hell are you waiting for? Call him at 844-24-JACOB. You get into any kind of accident, tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 Sen Yet. Look, it's very simple. If you were driving to a friend's house this past weekend but were injured in an auto accident that wasn't your fault, what should you do? You got to call Jacob. That's right. That's what you do. Jacob and his team will offer free consultation. So you have nothing to lose by calling and explaining your situation. If Jacob begins working with you, you can move on with your life. Jacob and his team will find you the doctor in your area that specializes in your injury. They'll also work with the auto body shop, the car rental place on your behalf. Jacob and his team, they're ready to help you, get you back on your feet, and get you the compensation you deserve. Yeah, cash. Dinero. And if you prefer to meet face-to-face, Jacob and his team, they can come to you, or you can come to Jacob's office. He's got one right down the street. And when you call an attorney, you want one who's respected. So you call Jacob because he's the real deal. So tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 Sen. You call him at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online at calljacob.com. By the way, Jacob, a proud partner of the Rams, Lakers, and LAFC. So make sure you follow Call Jacob on Instagram, Facebook for prizes, insight, and more. Call Jacob.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Lakers fans, get your exclusive content on Lakers YouTube. Get an insider's look into your favorite players' pregame routines and go behind the scenes in exclusive mini movies. Get to know your favorite players like never before. Lock in on game day court details with our series Sights and Sounds. See exclusive videos only on the official Lakers YouTube channel. Check it out now. And let's go Lakers.
Cappy here to tell you about my great friends at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. I'm a huge fan for so many reasons. The safety, technology, versatility, reliability, and they're all about the Subaru Love Promise. The cars are spacious and sporty. You got to go see my boy Omar and his team at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. They're focused on your needs, and they're the most knowledgeable people when it comes to getting you into the right Subaru. Ocean Subaru, 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, just off the 91 freeway. Go to OceanSubaruOC.com. That's OceanSubaruOC.com. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where every journey starts with love.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And it is Sedano and Kap, your Monday afternoon, a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. And yesterday, April 27th, we lost him back in 2014. Happy birthday to my friend and Shedano's friend, Casey Kasem.
Ponderous.
That's right. And happy 66th birthday to Sheena Easton. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Takes the morning train. She works from 9 to 5, and then she takes another home again. Yeah, to find her waiting. Yeah, haven't heard that song in ages. I don't know how I knew those words.
That's a banger.
My guy Casey Kasem ran into me in a bathroom one time. Like literally, it was like a one-off bathroom at the Premier Building in Sherman Oaks, and I thought the bottom knob locked, and apparently it didn't. And
oh no! So you walked in. He
walked in on
you?
me. I mean, all you saw was my back.
That's great.
Did you turn around and take your hand off?
Well, no, I
then
turned
shake his hand?
over my shoulder. No, I did not. I turned over my shoulder and I saw Casey Kasem. He was like, "Oh, hey, sorry, didn't mean to run in on you."
Hey, sorry about that long distance dedication there, George.
Yeah, that was my. I was like, "Oh, it's okay, Mr. Kasem."
That's really
That
funny.
was my ever only encounter with Casey.
Should have moved off to the side a little bit and say, "Come on in here. We'll cross streams, bro."
You should have been like, "Oh, I love when you do Shaggy."
Yeah.
Can you do a Shaggy impression real quick?
Yeah. All right, Cappy. So, what did you make of the draft? We talked about Shedeur a little bit. We could talk about it here again if you want. We talked about it during Crosstalk, but just kind of your thoughts. Like, I mean, Shedeur drove the intrigue for 3 days. Like, we've never seen this before.
Never. And I said it going into the draft.
People actually watched the 4th and 5th round of the draft for once.
People were watching Saturday. Listen, I said it going into the draft. Shedeur Sanders was going to be the story. It wasn't some great take, believe me. It was pretty obvious. But the reason it was going to be the story is he going to go 3 to the Giants? Is he going to go 9 to the Saints? Is he going to go 21 to the Steelers? None of us had any idea that he was going to fall out of the first round. And I will say it like this, George. The more he dropped and dropped and dropped, the more of an entertainment show it became.
Oh, yeah. No
Reality
doubt.
TV.
I mean, Mel was going nuts.
And Mel Kiper at one point said this. He said, "It's disgusting. It is disgusting that he hasn't been taken yet." And I thought to myself, well, okay, it is not some God-given guarantee that you get to play in the NFL. It is a privilege. It is not a right. But I have to take it from Mel because Mel is the guy who had him as his number 1 player on the big board. So, of course, Mel thought it was disgusting. I listened to Rich Eisen on the NFL Network, who worked with Dion for years and loves Dion. And Rich, who works for the league, was in there going, we put people in this league who've done so much worse, and you're not drafting this kid, like everybody's shutting this kid out. It was the most bizarre and yet weirdly entertaining thing I've watched in a long time. And then the kid who pranked Shedeur.
Oh, the Jaguars DC's son.
I think
who,
it's
by the way, for those that don't
Yeah.
know the story, the
Yeah.
league sends out basically these burner phones, like to the potential draft folks, the kids who are going to get drafted, right? And it's like Boost Mobile, right? They have like a deal with them. They send them on. So that way the kids have specific phones that they know only the 32 NFL teams will be able to call.
Right.
So apparently this kid somehow jacked the number from his dad's, I guess, information, probably from his email or whatever.
He said he saw it when he walked into like his meeting room. He saw it on an iPad and wrote it down.
Right. So the kid, I think his dad's the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, right? So the
Formerly
kid,
the Jets
Jeff
interim.
Ulbrich.
Yeah, he used to be the Jets interim. Coach.
So the kid calls Shedeur and says, "Hey man, it's Mickey Loomis from the Saints. We're about to draft you." And Shedeur says, "Man, I've been waiting for your call." And then the kid goes, "Yeah, well, I guess you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer." Hangs up, right?
Yeah.
Now,
And by the way, Shedeur they're filming this from Shedeur too, so we've seen both videos simultaneously
right.
run.
Yeah, he was live streaming.
Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. If you don't record yourself doing the prank and you don't post yourself doing the prank.
First of all, that was, I mean, it's bad enough that you did that, and then you're dumb enough to do
Right.
that.
See, here's the thing, is that plenty of guys get pranked during the NFL draft. It happens every year. Very few of them are ever as famous as Shedeur Sanders. And no one has ever been pranked by a son or daughter of a guy who's actually got a high-level position inside the league.
Right.
So, hey, dumbass, what are you doing shooting the video and then posting it? Are you well, I guess the answer is yes. Of course you're
Yes,
stupid.
he's stupid, yeah.
What kind of a dumb, entitled little snotty brat would A, do that, and then B, post himself doing that?
Yeah.
One that
What
gets
a-
away with everything.
What a little jerk.
He's not going to get in any trouble of any kind.
He called Shedeur. He got, I guess, his real number, and through the league, they got his number. And I'm guessing the dad must have been mortified.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Can
How
you
about the
imagine?
organization? Can you imagine the Atlanta Falcons have to
Oh.
send out a press release about this?
Yeah. And, right, I saw that. Yeah. And then the kid called Shedeur. Shedeur took his call, accepted his apology, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. So Shedeur has handled that all well. But, yeah, that part to me was the crazy part. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole draft, though, that everybody was waiting for Shedeur. George, when you think about this weekend, the Lakers and the Timberwolves, and we're all focused on that, or we're focused on the Kings and the Oilers. There are some people that are focused on the Dodgers, even though we're like 30 games into the baseball
Like
season.
Bergman.
There's so much going on in sports, and then to throw on top of it the draft, okay, fine, but when you lead SportsCenter 2 days into the draft with Shedeur still hasn't been drafted, I was at my daughter's college this weekend, George, And I was at a parents' weekend event, and there were parents. One family was from Boulder, actually from Boulder, Colorado. Another family's from Corvallis, Oregon. Another family from the Bay Area. Moms, dads, it didn't matter who they were. The only story they were talking to me about was, can you believe this Shedeur Sanders thing?
Yeah.
It was a mind blow. And
it became like, it became more than a sports story. Yes.
Mostly, I think, also because, like, for example, if you were watching ESPN, while Mel Kiper is saying it's disgusting that nobody's drafting this kid, Louis Riddick brought up what I thought was a very interesting point, but I think he's right. This is not about his toughness. This is not about his completion percentage or his accuracy or his mobility. This was personal.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if it was just purely personal to Shedeur, who the stories now
Maybe
come out.
to Deion, right.
But it could be that Deion. And the one last thing I'll say about it is this, George, you're about to find this out. When your kids are in Little League or your kids are in Pop Warner, there's always that dad. Mm-hmm. And he's the coach of the Pop Warner team. And guess what? His son's the quarterback. Or he's the coach of the Little League team. And guess what? His son's the pitcher. His son hits
let me
first.
tell you something. We've been so lucky so far in youth sports. Now, granted, he's only 6. He's only been doing it since 4, 5, and 6. But
just wait.
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen.
Oh, when Mateo's 12 and the Little League guys are thinking about the all-star teams, there's going to be the dad that coaches, and his son's probably not that good, but he's the leadoff hitter. He's the shortstop. He's the pitcher. And your kid's the 12th guy on the bench getting an inning in right field because the dad protects the kid. I will say this. Deion had good intentions the whole way, but he overcoached and over-daddy-balled his kid, and it backfired on him. That's the way I see it. You know, the kid never played for anybody else. The kid never played. He never had competition.
I always love how Cappy drops in, that's the way how I see it. We should do a segment called That's the Way How I See It.
I would love to do that segment. That's how I see it. Yeah. I mean, Deion thought he was doing well.
As opposed to Dealer's Choice, that should be the new Dealer's Choice. It should be called That's How I See It.
That is how I see it. I mean,
it's funny you say that because we actually have a client a partner that we're talking to that may be interested in doing some type of like a preview. It's like a sunglasses.
Oh, really?
And so it's like, that's the way I see it. You know,
that's how I see it.
That's how I see it.
That's how I see it through those lenses.
That's what it's called right there. You got the name of the segment.
I
Boom.
see it through those lenses. Are they polarized?
I think so.
Okay, well, that's how I see it. And it's different because when I take the glasses off, it's a whole different deal.
Cappy, you still got a caddy?
Amongst my Subaru, yeah.
Okay.
Why? What's up?
If you need service, I may be able to take care of you at some point.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Well, I do.
Well, I'm not yet. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Figure it out first.
Well, I like my Subaru, too, you know.
I know you like your Subaru.
All-wheel drive.
Hell yeah.
Ocean Subaru of Fullerton.
Outlander.
Yeah. A lot of love right there, you know. That journey starts with love.
I know. You've got 2 cars. It's okay.
He has like 6 cars because don't you have a car for each of your kids at home?
All the kids have each car, yeah.
But I did give up 2 of the cars.
Give those kids a moped.
Yeah.
No, I'm giving them e-bikes. E-bikes this summer. That's what you guys have. You guys have e-bikes or you can walk. That's exactly right. That's how I see it. That
hashtag, that's how I see it.
Deion thought he was doing something great for his kid.
Yeah.
He thought he was protecting his kid. Shedeur Sanders has never one time in his career competed for a job. Never once.
Well, yeah, it is a job interview, and you saw all these reports coming out now where, like, one case when he met with a team, and they, like, purposely, like, made a mistake in one of the plays that they were asking him about, and, like, he didn't catch it. And then when they confronted him about it, he was like, maybe I shouldn't be talking to you guys anyway. Like, he was very cocky the whole time.
That's the report now. How come those reports weren't out before the draft?
Yeah, that's also an interesting question. But look, let's table that for the second. We got to take a break. We got 30 minutes nonstop coming up. Let's get back to the Lakers. Can they pull off a miracle? Next.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey, it's Mace, and there's no better place to watch sports than Cosm. The Cosm Dome has got massive high-resolution display. It creates the ultimate immersive experience with a massive wraparound screen that throws you in the middle of the action. The Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall exciting pro and college games. Catch all the heart-pounding excitement of both the NBA and NHL playoffs. Secure your tickets now at Cosm. That's COSM.com and experience the game like never before. Cosm.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California.
It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes nonstop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of nonstop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Beam, ba-da-bop, yeah. Boom, dee-dum-bop. Ding, da-dum-bop, ba-da-bop, ba-da-doom, da-dum-bop, yeah. Commercial-free 30, Georgie.
Yeah, let's do it. Brought to you by your friends, Cappy.
Which of my friends? Real Father's Rights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Mark Real and Real Father's Rights. Well, you need them. They're there to help you out. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. All right, Cap.
Don't mind my little cough here today. I don't have a cough button.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know what my deal is. You know, I'm not really
got,
sure.
Whooping cough? That's coming back. I'm not even joking.
Whooping cough?
Is coming back.
Whoopie-doo.
Well, listen, Elon's cut a lot of things over in D.C., so like the CDC and NIH, all those things, people have been cut,
jobs.
so, things are coming back.
What's the NIH?
National Institute of
Health.
Oh, didn't know that. I didn't know if it was a sports league that I was unfamiliar with.
Everyone's got measles again, too.
Really?
Yeah,
Measles?
Measles and whooping cough's coming back. So.
Yeah.
Whooping cough, huh?
Yeah.
Whoopie-doo.
Next thing you know, we'll have the Black Plague again.
Or bubonic.
Bubonic plague. Yeah, that one's way worse, I guess. I hear.
The bubonic chronic, that ain't no joke.
By the way, Cappy, we never played Bill Belichick.
We didn't.
Oh, yeah.
You want to save that for later? Let's get back to the Lakers, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's get back to that. Because here's the deal. Cappy, you said you're a believe guy. Do you believe? We were talking about Coach Sanders earlier, right? Coach Prime.
Prime.
That was his famous line. Do you
We
believe?
got tomorrow. We got now.
Yeah, we got now.
Now, I do think the Lakers will win Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then, see, the pressure then shifts back to Minnesota, in my opinion. But,
is that the way you see it?
Well, I think historically what ends up happening is if you have the 3-1 lead and then you lose on the road for Game 5, when you probably want to close it out in Game 6.
Got to close it out because, schlep all the way back to L.A.
Yeah.
And Crypto.com is going crazy, which, by the way, The crowd in Minnesota, about 19,000 strong. I can barely hear the announcers on television. Seriously.
You don't want to face
it's that
LeBron
loud.
in a Game 7, though.
Yeah.
In L.A. Oh, my gosh. Did you see that shot?
Yeah, your
half-court
Cleveland
shot.
Cavaliers are beating up on Georgia's Heat right now, just destroying them, just eating them.
Again.
for
They're
lunch.
literally playing like Davion Mitchell.
I mean, we're going to see some serious Tristan Thompson minutes here.
Yeah. 22 teams. So 13 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit.
How many?
22 out of like 200, almost 300 teams.
All right,
Or
so
300
like 5%.
series in the NBA that have gone 3-1. 13 have come back to win the series. LeBron being one of them. He's 1-6 in those scenarios.
Okay, 5% all time.
22 of them, only 22, by the way, have actually forced a Game 7.
22 total?
Yeah.
22 total teams? Okay.
So that means that, if my math is correct, then 13, 22. So 19 of them, 9 of them lost in Game 7.
Yeah.
All right, you lost me there a little bit. I mean, math is not my strength. I grant you that. But
I
there
could
was
definitely
22.
be wrong because I'm terrible at
13
math.
have done it right. 13 actually completed the deal. There were 22 instances of getting to a Game 7. 9 didn't finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get to a Game 7, my point is, it generally, I mean, if you look at the numbers, 13 have won, 9 have failed when they got to a Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get to the Game 7, the team down 3-1 wins more than they loses. So if you're the T-Wolves, the pressure's on you to win Game 6.
Yeah, your odds go up.
Hey,
as
listen.
you win more.
Because then it's a coin flip, and it's actually better than a coin flip historically.
Yeah.
If I'm Anthony Edwards, here's what I'm telling my teammates in the locker
So
room
we're going to try
on Wednesday night.
I'm trying to explain to Laker fans.
Yeah.
If you win Game 5 and somehow survive Game 6, I don't want to say you're in the driver's seat, but you're in a pretty good situation.
Oh, I mean, you get to play at home. But here, again, let me tell you what I'm saying if I'm Anthony Edwards to my teammates on Wednesday night. Hey, you know what? Hey, we're in the driver's seat now.
Don't get to Game 6.
And you're right. Hey, right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is I'm saying this. I'm going, hey, guys, look, we have a game to give up, okay? And we can go home and we can win this thing on Friday night at home. We can do that, okay? But wouldn't it be even better to just rip LeBron's heart right out of his chest on his home floor and just show it to him right here? Okay, I'll do that because I'm Anthony Edwards. I'll put my hands all over him.
You're not
I'll
ripping
push
out
him around.
anyone's heart.
Well, let me ask everybody here a question.
Kick him in the shins.
Let me ask everybody here a question. I'll start with DeAndre. DeAndre, are the Lakers going to win this series? You don't want to say no. You don't want to say no, but you know that you feel like it's no.
I feel like coming back from 3-1, there's no possibility the Lakers win this series.
Okay.
You say there's no possibility?
I don't think they win this series. No, being down 3-1. I'm just being honest. That's tough. That's a tough ask. You got to go back. If you went on Wednesday, you got to go back to Minnesota.
It would take extraordinary circumstances, in my opinion. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm with DeAndre. It would take extraordinary circumstances. I think it would take a real ankle turn, unfortunately, by someone important on Minnesota. It would take injury luck, I think. Like, look, man, your team, the Cavs, if Draymond doesn't kick LeBron in the ding-ding, the Warriors win.
Okay, but then you could say that the year before that if Kelly Olynyk didn't rip Kevin Love's arm out, or if Kyrie Irving didn't get whatever, you could say that about any series.
Yes, but that one was a little different because it was in the championship round. So what I'm saying is, in 3-1, it's hard to win 3 straight games. In the playoffs.
Hey, think about this. You ready? And we're talking about the Kings and the Oilers and how the Oilers have owned the Kings over the last 3 playoffs, right?
Right.
Think about what the Oilers did last year in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
They were down 3-0.
Pushed it.
They battled back to 3-3, and then they ran out of gas and lost by a goal and didn't win the Stanley Cup. But they came back 3 games.
It happened in the NBA not that long ago. Miami and Boston in 2023. Miami went up 3-0. Boston came back to tie it at 3 on a crazy Derek White buzzer beater at the rim, similar to what Aaron Gordon just did this weekend, except it was a layup as opposed to a dunk.
Which by the way, was amazing.
Which it was amazing, but also like Aaron Gordon, what are you doing dunking the ball? Just let it go and lay it up. Because your hands have to be off it.
I didn't understand the ruling because at the
your
time,
fingers cannot be touching the ball. So if you're dunking it, your hands are on the ball longer.
Well, but George, when I was watching that game, I was watching it on my phone while I was sitting there watching Cal Poly Slow play UC Irvine in college baseball on Saturday afternoon. That's right. And I'm watching on my phone, so I really couldn't hear what was going on. I could see Jokic put the ball up. I could see Gordon grab it and dunk it. But I could also see that the ball was about 85% of the way through the cylinder when the red light was going off, and Gordon's hands were still touching the ball. And I was like, well, what's the ruling here? Is the ball already through the hoop?
Hawkeye, the
they
same technology that got LeBron on the foul on Anthony Edwards.
Right.
Because if not for that, he probably wouldn't have gotten the foul, right?
We have the technology.
Right.
Maybe a little too much.
We have the technology.
But before you saw that shot, you were like, oh, no, that's BS.
Well, you couldn't tell.
Well, yeah, so then they wouldn't have called it because they challenged it. And unless you can in-depth...
But what happens is, in the playoffs, you have all the toys. You have all the bells and whistles.
Well, and by the way, the Lakers actually called a timeout at that moment as well, right? So
then Minnesota they can challenge within 30 seconds of the opponent calling a timeout.
Right, and then the Lakers lost that timeout. And so later in the game, when they needed timeouts, they'd also lost another timeout when Luka tripped and went down to the ground and had to call the timeout. So where were we? Just back us up for 1 second here. We were talking about something, then it turned into Aaron Gordon, then it turned into the college baseball game.
Bro.
3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. So check me on this. About 2001, 2002, weren't the Yankees up 3-0 on the Red Sox, and that's when Dave Roberts stole second base?
2004.
2004?
Yeah, the Yankees were up 3-0, and they lost to the
Red Sox. Right,
Yeah,
Dave Roberts stole
had the
second base.
Stolen base.
Right, and the Red Sox came back down 3-0.
That was in game 4.
Yes,
so
they
Dave Roberts stolen base.
Right, so they won the game, and then the Red Sox battled back and won the series.
Yeah.
So listen, is it impossible for the Lakers down 3-1? You come home, you win game 5. Okay, you flip it around. Very short rest, lots of travel. Okay, no real recovery time. Get to Minnesota, lay it all on the line. And here's the other thing, just as a side note, also, the Lakers on the road this year. They were terrible on the road. They were awesome at home. They were terrible on the road. And they have been really bad in the postseason on the road. Not just this year, where they've lost 2 straight, but they've also been bad on the road over the last few years. There's some data here. Lindsay, you may have those numbers in front of you. I would have to find them. But the point is that everything is stacked against them, but is it impossible? Absolutely not. Have we seen other teams come back from a 3-0 deficit? A 3-1 deficit? Answer, yes. Can it happen? 100% it can happen. Will it happen? DeAndre says not going to happen. Lindsay, will the Lakers come back and win this series?
I don't think so, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not like DeAndre. I'm not like 100. I'm like 60-40, no.
Okay.
I may have to do a game in this series, so I will just tell you, I'll continue to state my position. I don't believe it to be the case, but because I would think it would take remarkable circumstances or unfortunate injury luck for Minnesota.
Wow. We have 4 people here, and this is not tremendous optimism here today.
It's just realism.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had all the faith in the world last year that they weren't going to get swept, and I bet my brother like 3 times, like double or nothing, and I ended up.
They didn't get swept last
2
year.
years
They won
ago.
1.
This is 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that was the original switch year.
Yes, that was, and then I told him, I was like, "There's no way."
Time is flying, by the way.
And yeah, I was wrong, and ever since then, I'm gonna, gotta hedge a little.
Yeah.
LeBron isn't who he used to be,
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
wow.
That has to hurt.
I gotta clip that.
What?
Oh,
I
my
mean,
goodness.
that reality's got to hurt.
Anybody who thinks that is delusional. He's 40.
Okay.
He's
Well,
still,
then guess what?
I think he's still the second best player on the floor.
Who's the first best player?
Anthony Edwards.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Let me tell you something.
I mean, LeBron's been better than Luka.
If they're he hasn't scored more, but he's done more.
But his defense has been like he's the only one defending
He's played
anybody.
better than Luka. I would agree with that.
So would you say then that J.J. Redick is delusional?
What do you mean?
Why?
Well, because what Lindsay just said. She was anybody that doesn't understand that he's now 40 is delusional.
I think JJ made a mistake by not resting him or anybody else the
Just
whole
get him a
fourth
minute
quarter.
or two.
Yeah.
90 seconds. I would have done
Even
it.
if he said no, I'd
And
be
listen,
like, sit your ass down.
I get that Gabe Vincent is like a -7 or whatever in the series, and Vanderbilt's like -6 for the series. But you had a 10-point cushion.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you could give yourself And by the way, that's over an entire series. They're -6 or -7. Like in a 1 or 2 minute span, I know it can flip quickly, but those guys are not. You know, at worst, what are you down? Another 3-4 points. You know what I mean? In a minute or two, like you still have a 2-possession lead.
And Jared Vanderbilt, you brought this up earlier, DeAndre, that he's not really much of a threat on the offensive end.
Not at all. At
okay,
times.
but still, his calling card and the whole reason people were excited when Vanderbilt was going to come back from injury was because of defense.
Yeah.
Okay, and you really can't find a couple of minutes for him to give you a contribution.
I don't get the sense that I think because he's a one-way player, I get the sense, and I have not been told this, so don't aggregate me, bro.
Aggregate this guy. Aggregate him.
I get the sense that, he's not like I think that JJ would play Gabe before Vando.
That's fine.
More than likely.
Hey, George, you know what? That's fine. Then guess what? Play him. All right? You have him on
I
the
was
team.
surprised with the Gabe thing. I was. He has tons of playoff experience. Again, he's been in a couple of finals now that I think about it. He played significant minutes in one of them, and the other one he barely played. But he's had a lot of deep play. What I was just talking about, that 2023 Boston, he played in that series. He was the starter.
Gabe Vincent is a guy that he's hit a lot of big shots this season. There were times where he got hot and he made a big-time offensive contribution. That's all. That's it. Just give him and listen.
And again, it doesn't mean I don't get what JJ was trying to do. He was going chips in the center of the table. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it doesn't work, this is what happens.
Well, for me, here's what I was thinking.
We dig into the minutia of it all.
Can I ask a question really quick?
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to call timeout and ask a question.
Oh, wait. Hold on. 20 second. Hold on. Timeout. Wait.
Timeout?
Let the whistle blow.
Full or 20?
There you go.
Hold on. Full or 20?
Full.
Oh, full TO.
Wow,
so just because I want to make sure I
Take a break.
understand.
Put your feet up, Cappy.
When Luka tripped or didn't trip, whatever the case
McDaniels,
was.
yes.
Okay, so when that happened and then he fell and called a timeout, if he had not called the timeout there, what would have happened? Would they have had time to challenge it? Because you said they have to do it within 30 seconds of the team calling.
No, if they call timeout, the opposing team has 30 seconds to call a challenge if the opponent calls timeout. You have to call. They give you a little more leeway if you're the team calling the timeout.
Because Luka fell down, had the ball, and called timeout.
Right.
But if he hadn't called timeout, he could have would they have done a jump ball? Would he have just gotten back up and inbounded the ball? What would have happened?
I think it would have got tied up right there, no? Because he would have fell. He didn't call the timeout.
Right.
They would have.
Right. It probably would have ended up being a jump ball because they would have tied him up. Yes.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
I was just curious because that could have changed the outcome if they didn't do the timeout.
Is that 30 seconds?
Yeah. And look, here's another thing. You mentioned timeouts. If we're being honest,
blow the whistle. It's got to be official around here, George. I put my feet up like you told me to.
You can't finish a playoff game. You can't have no timeouts left in the last couple minutes of a playoff game.
Well, I'm so glad to hear you say that because here's the criticism I'm hearing today. Offense doesn't look like there's any semblance of plays being run. It is isolation basketball, and Luka's controlling the ball and dribbling for 15 seconds.
I didn't say all that.
No, I'm not saying you said it. Right. I'm saying that I'm hearing criticism today that the offense doesn't look like there's anything planned per se. Okay. The second criticism is he doesn't get anybody any rest, and he's, to your phrase, putting all the chips in. And the last part of it is there's no timeouts left. And you made a point earlier today. There are certain coaches who've already been through this. Let's not forget, as great a year as J.J. Redick had and the Lakers getting into the third seed rather than having to scratch and claw their way into the play-in, J.J. Redick is a first-year head coach at any level.
Correct.
So, yes, he may have had a really good playing career, and yes, he may be a very smart basketball thinker, but when the pressure's on in the moment, some guys can slow the game down and other guys just can't. And I'm not saying he won't be able to. I'm just saying he did not yesterday.
Yeah, look, I would say it was not – I think he's done a really good job for the overwhelming majority of the season, if not almost the entirety of it.
No disagreement.
I just don't think yesterday was one of those moments.
Hey, you know, Cappy, Darvin Ham took them to the Western Conference Finals in his first year.
Oh, we're doing that.
Wow.
We with all the smoke and we ain't ducking no fade.
It's just a funny antidote.
Just want to make sure I'm clear. Darvin Ham took them to the Western Conference Finals his first year?
Well,
or
he
LeBron took them to the Western Conference
did, but,
Finals?
he was the coach. I'm just saying.
No, he was
For
the
anyone who
babysitter.
wants to, rip JJ, I feel like it's a whole collective. It's not just the coach.
No. I'm not ripping.
No, you're not, but a lot of people are, like Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I think, look, JJ made a gamble. It didn't pay off. It's that
Yeah,
simple.
because if Austin Reeves would have made that last shot, everyone would have been like, oh, that was genius for him to keep them all in.
But the margins are razor thin at this time of year. That's it. It's a make or miss league.
Yeah, and I actually last night I saw Austin or yesterday afternoon he missed that shot, and again I go back to the conversation we'd had a year ago where LeBron passed the ball to D'Angelo Russell and D'Angelo missed the three to win a game, and LeBron came out and everybody's like, well, why'd you pass the ball? You're freaking LeBron James. Why did you take the shot?
LeBron didn't have a shot though.
I mean, LeBron's turnover in the out of bounds play was
terrible.
That was awful.
Yeah,
terrible.
DiVincenzo was just.
Can we also bring up the game 3 when he dropped the ball when he had because he was on a heat streak when he was I be like back-to-back threes, and then when Luka Doncic outlet the ball to him and he dropped the ball, I mean that was a costly turnover as well. The Lakers were down 1 at that point.
Yeah, the out of bounds one really hurt them though,
and it hurts even worse because of what happened a few weeks ago. Who were they playing?
The Chicago.
When he went to inbound the ball and it got stolen and they hit that three, and that changed everything. You know, there was that one time in the game where Minnesota went up by, I want to say it was 1, and it may have been after the Austin Reeves foul, and then they came back, the Lakers, and they had back-to-back threes. I'd have to make sure I'm getting the sequence right. But Dorian Finney-Smith hit a 3. Austin Reeves, as I recall, hit a 3, and the Lakers had retaken the lead, and it seemed to grab momentum, but they just couldn't hang on. And it wasn't necessarily surprising because if you were watching and you were listening to the broadcast and they were talking about how there's no substitutions going on here, it was almost a feeling of a matter of time before Minnesota grinded them down.
Well, I think that when Austin Reeves made that 3, to me, that was like, that's why I didn't have a problem with him taking that last one. He was wide open. And, do you have a problem with him taking that last shot?
Not at all. I don't have a problem with it at all because I figure everybody on Minnesota is thinking Luka's going to take it.
Yep.
They probably didn't think LeBron was going to take it because LeBron in last-second shots is a very, very low percentage. But, Austin Reeves had a good look. He was in the corner. He really didn't have anybody in his face. And should we be saying, hey, he's an NBA player, you've got to knock that down, yes or no?
I mean, he hit the back of the rim. He shot it from the corner, so it hit the far side of the rim. It was on line. It just was too strong.
Because I remember when D'Angelo Russell missed that shot, it was like, hey, you're an NBA player. You've got to make that shot.
He's got to make that shot.
Didn't make that
and
shot.
He probably would have made it 9 out of 10 times, too.
I don't know about 9, but he makes it more than he misses.
7, yeah.
Yeah, he makes it more than he misses. But
I'd say 4.6 times.
What's the percentage?
4 point. That's 46%.
Okay.
I copy. DeAndre, do you just go back to 2 on the ball on Anthony Edwards and just pray you can get back to everybody else and let everybody else try to beat you? Because he had 43 last night.
I mean, I feel like the Lakers need to switch it up. Meaning go into the zone, a couple of possessions here and there, kind of confuse them like they did in Game 2, where they showed zone and they were able to kind of close out on guys. But I don't know, man. The way the Timberwolves been playing.
They go to zone on the non-Conley minutes, it feels like. That's when they generally tend to mix it up. But, yeah, I feel like – and, look, Ant has had a ton of experience this year, even though he struggled with it early on with 2 on the ball because everybody was doing that to him. But I feel like just anybody but him has got to be the way it goes.
But it's crazy because he's actually been a better playmaker in this playoff series.
No doubt.
So his ability to actually get to the basket
and maybe
and
if you're late to get the second person there, he'll split the double. It's you're playing with fire.
Not to mention, he had 17 free throw opportunities.
Because then you're 4 on 3 on the backside.
He made 14 of 17 free throws.
Cappy, I know you hate when they're 4 on 3 on the backside.
Well, yeah, I mean, when Minnesota goes on the power play, it's a problem. Okay, trust me when I tell you, it's a big problem. But seriously, 17 free throws. I mean, Anthony Edwards has made a conscious decision that he's going to drive to the basket. Whereas it seems to me like the Lakers settle for a lot of long shots.
They do. And again, a lot of that is what we talked about earlier. When the Lakers didn't make the Mark Williams trade, and I've been telling you for the whole season, Jackson Hayes is not going to be a playable player come playoff time. You didn't get Luka the lob threat. which means Luka running pick and roll with that big, right, as a vertical spacer. You either there's two options there. You're going to foul Luka, and he's going to go to the free throw line, or he's going to get the ball up to that big, and they're going to try to slam it down. So like there's not a lot you can do there, more times than not. So he's not going to the free throw line with the type of frequency that he used to, because he's not running the same kind of pick and roll he's been used to running for the entirety of his career.
Well, think about what you're saying.
Because when he comes off, let's say he keeps and he's going downhill, then you have to commit to him. He's so big and strong, you got to foul him, or he's at least going to initiate body contact because he could absorb it. So like, but he does without the lob threat. You don't have that aspect of his game. Fair or unfair, DeAndre?
That's very fair. Yes.
But think about what you're saying, that during the regular season, they played Jackson Hayes, 30 minutes a night. Jackson Hayes would score 12, 14, 16 points a night, most of them coming on dunks.
Yeah.
They cannot play the game they played all season long.
Correct.
And that is a massive problem.
Yeah.
If you have to change your personnel and therefore change your style of play in the postseason, that occurs to me that's a monster problem.
Yeah. But that's what
ball talk, DeAndre. You don't know nothing about no ball, man.
Championship level teams, Cappy, at this stage are adaptable. They're malleable. They know that their bread and butter is not going to always work. And what is your, second trigger, third trigger? Like what are the other options within a particular play? And by the way, sometimes those second and third options are going to be guarded well, because all you have is time to scout this stuff at this stage, because you have a day or two in between, and there's all the pre-scout and all that stuff. So what happens is at that point is it then becomes who can think the game the best at that particular moment. And they have two guys that can think the game really well, and even a third in Austin. But what I would say is it's being combated with a team that can also think the game through, a team who literally just went through the experience of going to the Western Conference Finals together, and a long, athletic, and as you mentioned, younger team.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I was just waiting.
I was waiting to hear where you were going.
Yeah. They've got all these things also in their favor. Like we talked about all year long, right? Laker fans, we tried to tell you the West is going to be a bloodbath.
I didn't try and tell you that. I told you the Lakers are going right to the finals. I drank the Kool-Aid. I bought into it all. I believed, and now I look like a fool.
The West is going to be a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with being optimistic, Happy.
And
well, maybe I was delusional.
Outside of OKC and Memphis, and really honestly, I think that series would have been at least a tad bit more competitive. Memphis might have won a game or two if Ja was actually healthy. But outside of that one, all these other series, I mean, we're talking about possession here, possession there. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. See Denver versus the Clippers. What a series that is.
We just talked about it, right?
Man, what a series.
Yeah, and then, and Game 5 of that series is tomorrow. So
let's go Denver.
What's that?
Let's go Denver. Let's go Nuggets. Let's go Nuggets.
And by the way, the East too, really outside of the 1-8 matchup, which is really a 1-10 matchup, like all those series are nip and tuck. Like I said this earlier, if I'm a fan of the Detroit Pistons, hell, if I'm part of the Detroit Pistons organization,
furious.
I am absolutely livid right now.
Pissed. Right on.
But my point is, every series, for the most part, a lot of these games are coming down to one possession.
Hey, listen, this Lakers game, I mean, it's been a very, very competitive series. It kind of reminds me of when the Lakers lost to the Denver Nuggets, but remember they had been swept by the Nuggets for a year or two.
But they were close games, right?
But they were really, really close games.
Yeah.
Well, if this series ends on Wednesday night at home, let me tell you, man, whether it's the next day Thursday, the next day Friday, or the next 6 months, we're going to be discussing not only what went wrong, but what they have to do to, I'll put this in quotes, rebuild. Because here's the thing. You're going to have to take a real hard look at what you want to do with the future and how much more you think you can get out of LeBron.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up the future. Because remember, I know Luka told Malika that his plan is to be a Laker long term. But if you get beat in the first round, they can offer him an extension this season, and it will be telling in the offseason, the summer. If he signs it, cool. Everything is good. You can then figure out how to build around Luka Doncic. But while he said that his plan is to remain a Laker long term, I still think that you get beat like this. Let's say they lose in 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you can't guarantee that he signs the extension this offseason.
I agree with that, but
you're going into under contract one more season of LeBron, and look, I'd do this trade 100 out of 100. Okay, the Lakers gave up nothing for Doncic. Okay, but I think it at least throws a smidge of doubt as to what the future would look like in that situation if they do lose this game, particularly on Wednesday.
Go a step further. You ready? Go a step further. Let's say they lose this game on Wednesday night, and let's say Luka does not sign the extension, okay? We'll play out that scenario. Then let's say LeBron says, well, I can opt out of my deal, okay? And I'm planning on opting out because I can make even more money, hypothetically, okay? If you're the Lakers and LeBron opts out, I understand we're in the entertainment industry, and I understand he's still the biggest star in the sport. Even though he may not be the best player, he's still the biggest star. But if you're the Lakers and you get knocked out in 5 games and you lose on your home floor to Minnesota, a younger team, might you not think to yourself, this is a young man's game. This is a game for 23-year-olds and 26-year-olds. It's not a game for 41-year-olds. That is something that the Lakers would seriously have to think about. I'm not sure they will because they're in the entertainment industry. But don't you guys think that they should? And I'm not knocking LeBron. He's had a spectacular year. How he does it at 40 years old, I'm not sure. He's superhuman. But if you lose in 5 games, is your thought process, hey, we're really close. We didn't have Luka all year. We didn't have a big man. So all we have to do is keep this group together and add a big man, and you'll see how different we'll be next year.
Well, I think they need to add more than just one big man. I think you need to add a rotation of bigs who are useful come playoff time. But you can find those. Look, I think that they should run it back with this group, but adding real depth, okay? Adding a couple of big bodies, maybe one more ball handler, like secondary, tertiary ball handler, and one more wing, okay? In a perfect world, you bring in 4 players that can help. And I don't know if those guys – you have Gabe Vincent in theory for one more year anyway. So, there's your tertiary ball handler, okay? So you don't need that. So let's take that off the board. 2 more big men, 1 more wing, right? Because you need one more guy outside of Rui and DFS that can play 3 and D. Because we've talked about how Vanderbilt is not effective on one side of the floor, especially in the postseason. So as good as he is on one side of the ball, or one side of the floor, he's not as good on the other, obviously.
If he's that good on one side of the floor and he can't get a couple of minutes in the fourth quarter, that is an indictment on what they think about him.
Right. I would agree. And so I think that they need one more wing, 3 and D, and 2 big men. And if you can find, and look, when you have LeBron and Luka, it's easier to attract those guys in a bargain basement bin,
I do know, but that's what I'm trying to say, though, is that I think you need to take a real good look. And listen, I would expect that what the Lakers would do is say, hey, we're going to run it back. We're going to give it one more try with LeBron, 41 years old, Luka, 26, going on 27 next year, and get a couple other pieces, and let's see what happens. And I think the justification for keeping it all together will be Luka got here late in the season. Luka needed to work himself back into shape. Luka needed to know his teammates and JJ's style. And LeBron did something this year superhuman, but we asked them to do things without a full roster. And that's been an ongoing problem for the last probably 3 or 4 years, frankly. But I agree with you. I think they will try to run it back.
I think they should. I think they should run it back with a couple of tweaks. That's it. That's what I would do. I wouldn't overreact. But, people might, but I wouldn't.
I would. I'd definitely overreact.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm an overreactor.
Yeah.
Run it back.
Except you're a believer now, too, right?
I am a believer, but I'm a believer in terms of what my personality is. I'm a believer. As far as this team, do I believe? I want to believe, but I don't really believe.
You got a little bit of hope, right? Like a little tiny bit.
Yeah, 5%.
5, that's it?
Well, that's what the stats say.
Okay.
hey, it's better than zero.
Hey, you know that no one ever came back from a 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals ever before, and LeBron changed that.
Right. And LeBron was how old at the time?
This was what, 7? Oh, man, I'm getting old.
9 years ago.
Oh.
Okay, so at 31 years old, LeBron was able to do that. At 40 years old, LeBron is not able to do that by himself.
He doesn't. Also, he has Luka,
Well, and Luka is a one-sided player also.
And Jackson Hayes.
But he's a prodigy on that one side, though.
Yeah.
But they need to get him the right tools. Even prodigies need tools to work with. If Picasso didn't have a paintbrush, he wouldn't be Picasso.
Oh, really? Is Anthony Edwards is he also a prodigy?
I think so.
I don't know if we saw Anthony Edwards coming as a teenager like we saw Luka and LeBron, but I would say Anthony Edwards is amazing, yes. I mean,
I just didn't know if the word prodigy.
Prodigy is someone like Tiger Woods, who we knew when he was a kid, and LeBron and Luka. Like, we knew those people as kids. That's what a prodigy is.
Oh, Anthony Edwards, me too. I knew that. 16 years old, I could see it coming, George.
He wanted to play football, Anthony Edwards. Chose the right sport, I'll tell him that.
I could see him playing football for sure.
Yeah.
Play offensive line after the way he was pushing LeBron around.
All right, Cappy, tell us about Seller's Advantage.
I would love to. Hey, selling your home, it seems like it's a hassle, but it doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you can forget about agents, you can forget about commissions, and you can forget about costly repairs. Listen, guys, if you've ever sold a house, have you had a realtor come to your house and say, listen, we got to paint all these walls, we got to change out this carpet, we're going to have to do some landscaping up front, little curb appeal, and by the time you know it, you're putting $30,000, $40,000 into the house to try and sell the house. And all you're thinking about is, wait, I got to put this money out to hopefully recoup it. You don't want to deal with that. By the time you pay for repairs and agent fees, you could have already sold your home for a fair, competitive price without the fallout of a deal, without worrying, oh my God, is this thing going to fall through? So we've talked to a lot of Seller's Advantage customers. Here's a guy by the name of Chris Chavez, and he told us this, quote, Seller's Advantage was definitely the best company I've worked with. They offered me more than I expected, and the whole process was great. I can't say enough about the experience. Much better than going through a realtor. So take the advice of Chris here and say, you know what? Forget about realtors. I'm going to sell my home quickly for cash, and I'm off to the next thing. Get your free no-obligation cash offer today. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747. Or you can visit them online at sellersadvantage.com.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
If someone is
I showed up at the hospital and was told I couldn't see my children. Then I showed up in court and was told they may not be mine. Then I was accused of anything and everything. Sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse, you name it, I heard it. I was forced to go long periods of time without seeing my children. That experience of being wrongfully treated ignited something in me. I can look at a father and honestly tell him, I know how he is feeling. I've been there. At Real Fathers Rights, we care about your family, your livelihood, and your future.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
With over 30 years in the business and more than 20,000 real estate transactions, Seller's Advantage offers a much better buying experience.
We don't charge agent fees, you pay no commissions, and you make no repairs. Seller's Advantage will show you a no-obligation as-is cash offer and can close in just a few days.
Just check out our Google reviews and see for yourself.
Call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
The law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
And it is Sedano and Kap here Monday afternoon. Big deal or no deal in minutes. But yesterday, April 27th, back in 1991, the number one hit, Amy Grant. Baby, baby. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
I'm so glad you're mine. Yeah.
I hope everybody has taken a look at my hat on YouTube. I even posted it in the community. Guys, don't let him do this. Don't let him burn it down. We got to find a way to make the circle great again.
Hey, George, did you know that at the half, the Cavs bench has 31 and the Heat starters at 15?
Yeah, I believe it.
Go Cavs.
Brutal game. Brutal
Wait,
game.
Come on, Cavs!
Last time that they had a lead this big in the playoffs was the year they won the championship against Boston. That's who they had the lead against.
Terrible game. Bad television.
It's not terrible for me. I love it.
Yeah.
You understand, though, right?
I think Boston is going to be, once they get through this Orlando series, because Orlando plays hellacious defense.
Come on, Cavs!
They're going to play the Knicks, whose defense is like Swiss cheese this year, and they're going to score like 120 points a night on the Knicks.
Yeah, I would rather play, the Magic in the first round just because, you got to get them up to something. Be like, man, that was easy.
They're going to take advantage of Cat and Jalen Brunson defensively in a way that's going to look like it's going to look so bad on Tibbs they'll probably win one game, but Tibbs could be in trouble, I think.
They can barely beat the Pistons. The Pistons are giving them a series.
Pistons should have won.
Pistons are, they're not a bad team now.
No, they're not. I'm just saying,
really hard.
For a young team.
Yeah, no, Pistons are good.
Yeah, I think for a young team going up against, the Knicks that everyone's like, the story veteran team.
Cade Cunningham is going to be a star. He's already, this is to me part of his coming out party. Normal people, casual fans are like, oh, that guy's really good. You know what I mean? When he came out of the draft from Oklahoma State, people were like, he can be like Luka. And he's got the same skill set offensively that Luka does. Luka's, I would say, more skilled, but not by that much. And he can defend more, Cade.
Let me interrupt this whole conversation.
Can I just do big deal or no deal?
Yeah, but wait, this is a breaking news story. This is breaking news.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news.
So I had to just look this up. I've been sitting here trying to figure this out. I'm seeing that Shams Charania is reporting this. And look at Shaquille O'Neal at halftime right now on TNT wearing a green jacket.
Get on with it. What is it?
Oh, he's going to be the GM of Sacramento State men's basketball.
Shaquille O'Neal has agreed to become. It's not?
Oh, all the players are doing this now.
Yeah, but
it's not like he's leaving sports media
to
do that.
But Sacramento State guys, if
but
you
that's
told
what
me,
Mike Bibby is. He's the new head coach.
Yeah, but if you would have told me LSU, I get it. But I don't know how Sac State is doing it in football. Also, I don't know who has come up with a fortune up there, but they got more NIL money and they're recruiting more guys. Shaquille O'Neal becoming the general manager of Sacramento State's basketball program. That to me is wild.
He probably doesn't have to have a lot of FaceTime there, It's all done over. It's not going to change his. I feel change that much what he does every day.
Well, to me, that's just. There's just no affiliation with Sac State. Just crazy. I find it very interesting.
It's unpaid, by the way.
Oh, really?
Unpaid voluntary role.
Wow. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Maybe he just needs some practice because he wants to be a GM someday.
Yeah, that I guess, or I don't know. Maybe he's doing somebody a favor. I'm not sure.
Mike Bibby's there. They're probably boys, and
Yeah, help recruit.
Right.
I guess so.
It don't hurt.
That's basically what these GM roles. From
I
these
saw Mike
players are
Bibby
now.
when I did that playing game in Sacramento. I talked to him for a second about his new gig. It's cool. Good
Well,
for
I
him.
figure this is why Shaq is rocking this green suit today.
Probably.
Maybe.
All right. Sorry about that.
Really
Deal or
quick,
no deal. Yeah, we got this quick. Yeah.
Has Spoelstra ever been swept in the playoffs?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer off
Come
the
on,
top
George.
of my head.
Do better.
I don't believe so, but maybe.
All right, well, I'm doing
Come on, Andy.
one really fast, big deal or no deal. Bill Belichick was interviewed by CBS News correspondent Tony, I don't know what his name is, and I'm not going to try and say it because you guys will make fun of me. So Bill's promoting his upcoming book, The Art of Winning, Lessons from My Life in Football. That's coming out May 6th. But the segment showed his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, standing nearby during the conversation. So here's a 1-minute clip of the interview that everyone is talking about.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet. She's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
It's just ask the question, bro. Just ask him.
So this whole thing was very awkward, and I want to ask you guys, is the influence that Bill Belichick's young girlfriend, that she seems to have on his professional life, is that a big deal or no deal?
I mean, it's a big deal because I think this North Carolina thing has a chance to be a complete disaster. They have a really soft schedule, so they should just literally walk into 9 wins. But if they get less than that, it's going to reflect poorly on him. Look at the staff that he's built. It's all his friends or his friends' kids. I'm telling you, I'm not saying he can't coach, but here's a hot take for you. Bill Belichick without Tom Brady has a worse winning percentage than Dave Wanstead, who was also a championship defensive coordinator for Jimmy Johnson. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I tried to tell you a long time ago, Tom Brady was the reason that they won. It wasn't Bill Belichick.
Is that how you see it?
I think in individual games, Bill did a lot of things that made a lot of sense. But I'm just saying overall that I think this has the recipe to be a potential disaster.
But the weirdest thing is the way the guy is phrasing the question. You know, he says, well, how'd you guys meet? And she's over there in the corner. We're not talking about this. I have a 22-year-old daughter. I can't imagine my daughter being 24 years old. First and foremost, dating a guy who's 3 times her age. But secondly, being in charge of it all. Because I would have said if I were the interviewer, I'd be like, we're not talking about that. Well, that's something that everybody's super interested in. Well, we're not talking about that. Why? What's the big secret? What's it matter?
Well, yeah, now everyone's
So you would have made it contentious.
I'm not so sure I would have made it contentious. It's just that the way she shut him down. Right, he's a professional. He works for CBS. He's got their morning show. Bill has been willing to do the interview. Why? Because he's promoting a book. It's a question that everybody would like to know if you're interested in it. I personally don't really follow the story. The way the interviewer was like, well, the whole world is so interested in your relationship. Are we? I mean,
I feel like at first people
I do
were.
think that if you go on social media, everybody's talking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's all
super
everybody talks
cringy.
about.
I mean, let's just be real about it. It's a very cringy relationship.
Yeah.
He's 70 whatever. She's
72.
24. And how did she go from being completely anonymous to all of a sudden meeting him? I mean, wasn't there a story that they met on a plane? She asked him for an autograph or something like that? What's so hard about answering the question? You let me come interview the guy. I'm helping you promote his book on national TV. You can't just say, hey, we met at a bar one night.
Tell him, Cappy.
I mean, what a joke, man. And if I were the guy, I'd be like, excuse me, I'm over here conducting an interview. Do you guys not want the interview to go on CBS? Because I'm about to sell lots and lots of books for you.
Oh, my gosh.
By the way,
finding her very annoying.
Spo 2021 against the Bucks.
Oh, okay. By the way, Sacramento State, Shaq's son plays there.
Oh, well, there's the connection.
Yes,
Which
thank
one?
You, Shakir.
Oh, okay.
Thank you to Robert Wilkins, who
tweeted
us and told
Thank
us
you,
that.
Robert.
Shout out the counselor.
Appreciate you, counselor.
Yeah. All right, that is big deal or no deal because we don't have any time for anything else.
Needless to say, it's a big deal for Cappy, this whole Bill Belichick.
I mean, he got racked on it.
I mean, I can't even believe it. It's like, who is this girl?
Yeah. Hey, so you want to know? Inquiring minds want to know, Cappy. I feel like you should be doing these interviews.
I want to know where's the attitude coming from, honey.
If I go to North Carolina this year, which I doubt, because it's going to be all the big crews that get those games.
Yeah.
If I do, I'm bringing you with me.
Oh, I'd love to. I would love to. Hey, Bill, you're rocking that Navy sweatshirt. What's with the hole in the chest?
Why is he wearing a holy sweatshirt when he's doing a CBS News interview? That's my question.
It's just the whole thing
Why
is weird.
didn't she tell him to dress nicer?
I mean, it was 8 minutes, and I was like, I can't believe I'm wasting 8 minutes of my life watching
I can't believe
this.
he wore a holy sweatshirt.
All right. Coming up next, Cappy's Dealer's Choice. But first, let me tell you about LAX. At LAX, changes are arriving daily, man. The People Mover trains, they're rolling in early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to improving your travel journey. The new trains will quickly move guests between all the terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and just for you, Cappy, the Kiss and Fly lot. All in 10 minutes or less, and they depart every 2 minutes when they open early next year in 2026. To learn more, go to their website, lawa.org/ESPN. That's lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey, guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192. Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Final segment of the program. Funchy's in the house.
Show today. Fat.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And by the way, Chris, I called it an epic show today. It was going to be epic because of everything that had transpired. And Funchy is here because Lakers Talk is coming up after us with Andy Kamenetsky. Excellent work by everybody today. By the way, Perk said he had to take an early flight, so he'll join us tomorrow, Jack.
Hey, great job yesterday by Beto and Funchy. I was driving south yesterday. In fact, let me start off by saying this. My Dealer's Choice Real Deal is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. If you want to sell your house before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it with an as-is competitive cash offer, no repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. George.
Yeah?
I was driving south yesterday from Cal Poly Slow, and I was going to drive all the way back to San Diego. So I dehydrated myself, George. In other words, I drank no fluids except 1 cup of coffee, which of course had me very nervous that I might not have to stop to pee, but I might have to change my underpants along the trip.
Right.
So I was able to watch the Laker game in my car while driving. Not the safest thing to do. Don't do that, people. And then when the game was over, I was getting from the 101 to the 405, and I was listening to Beto and Funchy Lova. What a great post-game show it was yesterday. Shout out to the Walrus, who's a great caller. Shout out to Big Rob, who's a great caller. So, George, have you ever done this? Because here's my goal. My goal was fill my car with gas, do not fill my body with fluid, and see if I can make the entire drive, which is about 270 miles or so, all the way without stopping. So car full, body empty, made it all the way home.
Excellent.
No stopping. No stopping for gas.
No underpants.
No stopping to pee. No stopping for food. Straight shot. And Funch, you and Beto yesterday in the postgame show, outstanding. Really, really great.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You want a prize for that, Kepi, for not having to stop to pee?
It's pretty impressive bladder control, Lindsay. You got to admit that.
You'll have a prize when you come in tomorrow.
I'll have a what? A prize?
Yeah, we'll get you a prize.
Okay, well, I think I deserve one.
Okay, we got to
Maybe
go.
I don't need Depends undergarments, so that's good.
Okay, we got to go.
All right, we're done here. Andy
I'm
Kamenetsky.
leaving.
Exactly.
That's right.
Andy Kamenetsky, Lakers Talk. An epic Lakers Talk, down 3-1. Do you believe in miracles? We'll get to that with Andy next.